I need to stop putting so much sugar in that goddamn tea. Put too much goddamn sugar in that goddamn tea. Okay. That's done. That's done. That's been that been. We. That's my fault. That number 4 is so valid. That's my fault ultimately. But I gotta accept that. Damn, you need to be understood! Yeah. Okay. All these are reasonable. Ow. Fuck. Yeah. Ah, fuck. I'm just a broken creature. I'm just a broken creature. Absolutely busted. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Back in this shit again. On another day of VSChat, boys. Need to finish one more link and finish this stuff over here, and we will begin. Womp 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 womp. We bo we yo. Who is this? You serve a zero purpose. Zero purpose. And should find better outlet for your antisocial myopathy. Meat. I should really start encouraging more people to use fan art. More more for the pictures that I use for promoting links for the stream. The artistes amongst my audience really should be able to get to flex their meme muscles. I think it would be smart. I think. Okay, that should be everything. I really should get rid of these old headers. These old headers don't serve any purpose anymore. There we go. This will have to rework somehow. Maybe, probably. I don't even use this anymore. And then this is for the pre-roll. For the podcast. Okay. 4 scenes now. Anywho. Let's start the show. Once again, like I said, same rules for watch together applies. If you need to be abreast of what that is, exclamation mark pause. Let us begin.
How do you got?
Carl, you're stupid. Remember, you have to click on the thing because if you use microplayer, it does not actually pause.
So I took to social media to ask what's your best gaming hot take, and we're gonna discuss them. But before we do, make sure to leave a comment in the comment section below your best gaming hot take, and you might be featured in a future episode. Now, without further ado, let's see what type of tomfoolery we can get into. So our first hot take comes from God's Will, and he goes on to say, gamers should have had better behavior and hygiene by now. This gamer gave...
Stop it. No. Flat out rejection. I reject you and everything you represent and cause. And the reason why is because that's not even true. That ain't got nothing to do with Gamergate. And you guys know it. I need this for here. And here. Why is that sized like that? The amount and size it has to be affects the actual resolution in which you see it in. Which is why I'm pulling it up like that. Which unfortunately I do believe will affect it inside the second overlay. Actually it doesn't. Okay. So there are 50 billion things that are wrong with this take. Obviously, in and of itself, it's like, what the fuck do you mean? So, for this, and then it's all here. So like, off rip from starters, I really am not a fan of this particular argumentative talking point. Gamers should have had better behavior and hygiene by now. The gamers are not the problem. The gamers are not the ones that are having hygiene issues and problems. Like, Like, we can actually beat the con allegations, you see? Because, what do you mean by gamer? More importantly, Gamergate behavior and constant harassment is embarrassing. I can almost promise you, when you say gamer, you're not actually talking about the official group who's doing it. And without even needing to address the political side of the actual argumentation, what? Huh? If you are calling regular people gamers and the consumers of gamers, and the consumers of content that is game-natured gamers, you've already failed to identify the problem, which is why this shit continues. But, you know, that requires hard questions and hard answers. That's just crazy.
Behavior and constant harassment is embarrassing. Me personally, I agree. First of all, you're allowed to have different opinions than everybody else. I think the issue is it's the harassment, all the extras, calling people out of their name.
So every single person that has ever done that and is doing it right fucking now concerning Stellar Blade, are you gonna hold that same energy? If you can't hold that same energy, I don't want to fucking hear it. If you can't hold the same energy, I don't want to fucking hear it. And I know that you're not going to hold that same energy. Because you can't even define what you're talking about when you say gamers. So that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous on the face of it. And you know that it's ridiculous on the face of it. That's dumb. That's dumb.
I can't stress enough that we play video games, we're talking about video games, and I feel like somewhere along the lines we lost the plot on that. So yeah, I don't believe in like trying to silence people. Let people have their...
So the people who you're trying to, the person that you are currently fucking answering the thing of, they are actually looking to silence people with what they said. Because unfortunately, what they just did was they just tried to tone police and optics cuck at the same time. There have been way too many situations where the supposed gamers being described were being called every single fucking insult under the sun. For the crime of, you know, remaining consistent that they don't like censorship. Literally, we discussed it yesterday. People describing that they don't like censorship were being mocked about, look, this is the censorship they're worried about, by the way. She's basically wearing a G-string, and all they did was add a piece of fabric. Interesting. Interesting. Same as it ever was. So it's like, if you actually don't understand what the argument is, I don't think you get to have this opinion. That's what my Roman Empire in this situation is. If you don't actually know the context behind what's being said or why it's being said, you cannot use blanket statements like this. Because that is an inability to do things. Bro, we're here to play video games. But we can't even play the video games because the motherfuckers are censoring them. But if I complain about the censorship, I'm harassing you. It's Gamergate behavior. Gamergate behavior is when you are a consistent critic of the things that you dislike and you're vocal about them. And then when you vocalize your distaste of them, people mock you for it. You try to have a conversation with them. They continue insulting you by calling you a Gamergator, thus associating you with a negative connotation. And then by associating you with that negative connotation and never also changing their mind. Because you have to also be willing to change your mind. If shit gets heated, regardless of whoever punches first, you're going to criticize the people who you're effectively saying are a problem and never take accountability, never just claims, never do any of that shit. That's crazy. That's crazy on the face of it. And that's just the macro argument. That's just the macro argument. I can already see how it ends up happening. I can already cite 76 different situations that have already occurred because of that mentality alone. Never mind Gaming Circle Jerk. Never mind Reddit as a whole. Never mind the fucking bastions of Twitter as a whole. Never mind the individuals who are fueling the fire and stoking the animosities so they can so they can have the double standard to remain the ones that can say this but never smell the shit that they fucking shit. Never smell the shit that they shit out. Nose blind to your own arguments. Nose blind to your own arguments.
Their own opinion. It's just all the extra shit I don't agree with. I'm like, can y'all stop that? And for the hygiene, I think the real conversation we need to have the hygiene for, with what the hygiene is, I agree. Gamers' hygiene should have been gotten better. But the average gamer is 35, if you look it up. It's because a lot of gamers have grown up and a lot of you motherfuckers stink. So I gotta ask,
So that's just you just insulting people. What do you mean the average gamer is 35? What? Where does this number come from? And even then, I don't even need to use a number. I ain't gotta cite statistics. If they nasty, tell them to wash their ass. But you know where you start from? You don't start from, damn nigga, you nasty, wash your ass. Why are all y'all gamers always smelling like Cheeto dust and smegma? Hey, yo, fam, this is a speed stick. Why do I need that? My nigga, I'm gonna be with that ass. Flies are dropping out of the air around your head. They come to you and then I ain't trying to hold you like that. No, I'm just trying to look out for you. If they get crazy from there, by all means, I'ma join your ass. I got the rope right here. But what I ain't gonna let you do is just already off the gate be the worst fucking faith. Absolutely not. Because gamer is not person who plays games. First off, that should have been obvious. Gamer requires them to have a fucking stance. If they're just consuming games and playing games, that's not the same thing as being a gamer. And you know it. Because you just used gamer as a pejorative and as a group. I don't know, bro. Are you a gamer? Title of your video is Pro Gaming Ruin the Fun in Games. So, what is a pro gamer? Do you consider yourself one? Would you, outside of yourself, criticize yourself right now? Should you be guilty of the shit you're saying? If not, perhaps we want to redefine what these terms mean and use them accurately. Let's not play fast and loose. Let's not Mont and Bailey the words. Let's not. Let's absolutely not.
At what point are we gonna say, you know, we gotta stop bitching and complaining about some of these stereotypes that some of you refer to as the normies or mainstream people who don't play games?
Well, you see, if they walk into my house and they tell me I need to convert things in here to their standards, I'm gonna tell them to get the fuck out of my house. Especially if I built the shit brick by fucking brick. My house, my business, my groups, my associations, I'm gonna tell them to get the fuck out. They by no means have to associate with me. Hell, the space is a space for a reason. But I have authority over that space that I made. I have authority and will feel that I have a right to something that I helped build. And you don't get to tell me otherwise. I don't get to tell you otherwise for you build either. You see how that works? See how that works? If you don't, yeah. It's hard to do Robin Williams impressions when you have spit in your throat. Did you follow my rules? Do you want to work with me? Do you not tolerate what I have to say? Is this not my home? Is this not my space? You should have the right to guard your stance, by all means. I'm not gonna fucking ever judge or really hold somebody on that. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna call out bullshit. If you're being hypocritical and the standards that you hold yourself to are now permissed amongst a group of people who are somehow special, and I can never be allowed that, but if I were to judge you the way you judged me, and yet even in my space, I don't do to you what you did to me and yours, I think the problem does not belie with the gamers. I think it belies with a particular fucking problem, with a viewpoint, an opinion, an ascription to someone's character or otherwise. I think it has a lot more to do with that than it does anything else. I think it has a lot more to do with that than anything fucking else. And if we can't address that, if we can't admit that, if you can't be able to say, you know what, absolutely, yes I did. Yes I did do that. Then what the fuck are we talking about, nigga? What the fuck are we talking about? I'm not gonna allow somebody to try to gaslight it. I'm not gonna allow somebody to treat me like I don't have a fucking brain. I might not be the most important and most intelligent person, but motherfucker, I'm not stupid. If I can see what clearly looks like a Beretta in your pocket, and you keep scratching the edge of your pocket, hanging your hand out of your fucking pocket like such, I'm gonna tell you take your hands out of your fucking pockets. I know you have a gun. I'm not threatened and I'm not impressed by it. If you feel you gotta pull on me over some vocal shit, Ah, well, what kind of man are you? What kind of gamer are you? Because if I'm going to have a fight with somebody, if I come for a scrap, if I come for a fucking scrap, for a fucking shootout, if I come for a fucking shootout, I'm going to have a fucking shootout. But if I don't have my hands on my guns and you can see my guns on my hip, what the fuck are we reaching for? What are we reaching for? Is it that serious? Anywho.
When they make stereotypes about gamers, when are y'all gonna stop saying that, like, oh, that's mean, that there's some truth to it? If you want people to stop saying these things about gamers, wash your fucking ass and stop saying
that it's the gamers. Individuals. We are individuals. If you're gonna use it as a pejorative and as a grouping term, you need to learn how to define what gamers you're kind of talking about. It's a subculture, sir.
Saying that it's not true, because I can't tell you how many times I've been to a gaming convention or a gaming event. It's like, yo, I'm not shaking.
So what kind of event? Name them. What kind of event? Name them. What kind of event? Name the event. Was it AWA? Was it Nauticon? Was it Dragon Con? Image Con? Was it an anime convention primarily that had a gaming room? Was it DreamHack? What was the event? Name the name. Name some names. Because if you walked into a gaming event and you're like, God damn, why do I already smell the Melee players in the gaming room? I haven't even walked 10 feet towards the entrance door. Then I'm going to have to say that perhaps, you are not truthfully being honest. Because, you're saying gamers, but what I'm hearing is weebs. You keep saying gamers, but what I'm hearing is Melee players. You keep saying gamers, but what I'm hearing is dusty niggas. You keep saying gamers, but what I'm hearing is male-oriented insults and criticisms. Of course, that's not to say that you don't have a gamer fail daughter that gets Otonoko down with the rest of us. But, define your terms. Define your terms, nigga. Define your terms. I'm G-checking you. Define your terms, nigga.
Shaking your hand. I'm not trying to stand next to you. I don't care how much you love Mario, Baldur's Gate, whatever the fuck you are into. Wash your ass. And better yet, not only wash your ass, stop washing your ass with cheap shit. I'm passionate about this shit.
So, are you going to give them money? Are you going to come over and say, hey, yo, I'm going to help you out? Because, hey, I thought it was called Speed Stick, and it's not expensive. Get some deodorant, nigga. Get some deodorant, nigga. I thought that's what it was called. So here's a good example. I not only use cheap shit, I also use expensive shit. Like clinical extreme care. Are you going to be willing to drop $15 at its greatest discount? $7 for a blanket generic brand clinical strength deodorant of a normal size? Matter of fact, hold on. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. See, the really fucked up part with clinical deodorant is that when you accidentally drop it, the way that I just did, you force too much product that falls off the top of the lid, which then spreads it all over the top of the cap, and just makes it oh so hard to use. Excuse me. As I accidentally almost violate terms of service on Twitch, let me step off camera and spread this on my body before I then put it in front of the camera face. There you go. In my hands, chat, I have something that me and my wife found one day when we went to Walmart from the clearance section. Clinical strength, fresh scent deodorant, 1.6 ounce, which is 4 to 5 grams. Spin turn, like 200 spin turns. Something like this would last you about maybe 3 months with appropriate, accurate amounts. Because you don't need to use a lot. You only need a little. Like click, click, rub, click, click, rub. Even then, click, rub, click, rub. And then, comparative to this, still got a little bit of product left in this one too. Comparative to this, oh no, actually they're the same size. But they look like they're not. But this is the same amount of product. Secret, because realistically, men, if I should validate what he says, let me go to the different scene. If, ladies and gentlemen, I want to validate what he says. This right here, when I bought it, this secret clinical strength, because if you really want some shit that works, men, don't buy the male product. Buy the female product. Yes, you're going to have to be spending for the fucking premium, because we know that they are overcharging these women. I know that they do. Because this, realistically, this is not gendered at all. But if you want to make it about gender, the female product, something like this is going to cost $11 to $15. And you heard me correct. This is 1.6 ounce. $10 to $15. Clearance, $7. Let's say you have 20 in your pocket. 2 dusty niggas that you're playing against in that tournament. Stink to high heaven. But fortunately for you, out of nowhere, you've got the Axe Pack. Carl, what's the Axe Pack? I'ma show y'all. Those of you who have ever gotten a Axe body kit, it comes with the gel, the spray for the finish. Also, you use this for the finish. Sprays like this are always meant to be used for the finish. They're not used for the stick on, because then you actually have a dry stick for it. Wet sticks can work, dry sticks can work. These 3 products together in a box set, realistically, you can get as cheap as $5 on clearance. For him, he'd say something like this is cheap, but this works. You know why it works best? Sink showers. The problem is not that niggas don't wash their ass. The problem is that niggas don't get the problem spots. Wash your pits. Wash your pits. Try to get all the dirt off your chest. When you wash yourself like that, the dirt is gonna, and I'm telling you some real shit. I had to learn this from a fitness friend of mine that went to my high school and then also went to the same college as I did. And he was working in managing health fitness and also exercise fitness. All that sweat particulate and all of that sweat residue, when you work out and you perspire throughout the day, from your head, from your scalp, all the way down your body, it's gonna accumulate all right there. Gotta wash it, gotta scrub it like it's nuclear grade radiation. These things right here, $5, but more than likely if you look, well actually look, but I'm gonna put these back first. Because you see me, for some people, what they get for Christmas, they get socks and shit. Me, I get Axe body kits. And to demonstrate so. Sometimes it was Axe. For the last 5 Christmases, I got the Old Spice normal sticks and like 1 stick of the new fucking Mr. Suave stick. They all came from a box set. That would be my phone vibrating on my desk telling me that it's now noon. They all came from a box set. They would be purchased by the family members who got them for me for like $5. And it was effectively like getting a $100 care package. Because if you know how to use it, and you know how, and the majority you use it, it goes a very far way. And for the reasons I just said, we're going to Google the price on it. Axe Body Shower Kit. Bath and shower sets. Body skincare product. Let's see here. We're looking here on Amazon.com. Ironically enough, the number I said just now that we got it for discount was $5. Guess how much it costs? Just for what I showed you. Guess how much it costs for what I just showed you, chat? Guess. 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 15 or over? Ding, 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 Saffronet. Ding, ding, fucking ding, Bill. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely it is. Right there. Look at them numbers. Look at them numbers. $32. $18. $34. $38. $38. $44. Let's see if we can find different ones. Gift set. This is the one that comes with the body wash and that little fucking scrubber. Still $18. Let's go to the Axe store. Let's go to their webpage. Let's look at the price, to the cost and price. Body wash, 19, 20, 31, 22. These are just for normal sticks. People who think that Axe is a cheap product, but really it's not. Not anymore. Back in my day, you could be able to get this shit for less than 15. Now you need 15 just to be able to get a double piece of a product. And I guess you'd be damned if you're allowed to have the single fucking thing. Even the fucking shower skin tool cleanser is fucking $20. At least this is Amazon prices, so this doesn't reflect something like Walmart. But, it'd be cheaper in store, guaranteed, yeah. I mean, Axe, Old Spice, Secret for Men. In fact, let me go grab it in the thing. Get it back up again and go grab another one. For me right now, this is what I got. That's Nivea for men. Sensitive skin. This is the equivalent of getting clinical strength deodorant for your body. This was $10. So if this is $10, and I found this on clearance for $7, if I got $20 in my pocket, and I really thought, for real, that the game room finna be kicking, I'm willing to drop $20 on the nigga. Are you willing to drop $20 on the nigga? No? Then let's not talk about people's hygiene. By all means, criticize it. But if you're not willing to say, hey, yo, you stink, nigga. Bro, I ain't got the money for this shit. Either it's me buying the shit you talking about or I don't pay my bills. Nigga, I guess I'm just gonna stink. I mean, shit, I'm actually competing in this tournament so I can get money. A word? Shit, nigga. Shoot, Negro, that's all you have to say. Go ahead and take these. Because I can get a motherfucker a fucking wash rag. And we can go to the bathroom. And I can let you borrow the shit. I ain't like one of the motherfuckers that's like, I can't let you use my deodorant. It's a whole thing. I don't help you. That's who I am. What you mean? I got you. You gonna catch these hands in the next round of the tournament, nigga. But I want you clean and spiffy when I do. I want you at your maximum freshness and your maximum potential. This whole argument, realistically, dead ass, this whole argument about them being nasty, being dirty, being a bunch of closet man cave incels. Reject it. Wholesale. Gamers are probably some of the most cleanly and organized people in existence. Even if you were to look at some of the things in the state of this room, like over in this corner, over in this closet, it's not a mess. Things are up there and organized up there the way they're supposed to be. My other gaming collection, up there organized. Other possessions of mine, up there organized, or over in the other room where my suitcase is, organized to put away. A particular person who I had a interaction with from another server, I got to see his setup. His hair was nice. His beard was nice. His man cave, his workspace, which he clearly worked on for a while, was nice. And I complimented him on so. It wasn't because I needed to glaze niggas nuts, considering the situation it was. No. I legitimately said, goddamn, that's really good. Because you can learn a lot about a person from their setup. There's a lot of pride people have in what they choose to live in. This is both my bedroom and my workspace. I eat here and here. I sleep here and here. Even this, the only reason that these are here because I have a nephew. I guess now, if I ever take these down, I'll like put something much more easy up, like actual blackout curtains. Use this because that was actually what I had in my bedroom. Very big fan of The Lion King. Very big stage nerd. Very big dramatic show choir person. Because I am an actor after all. Voice actor and performer. But let's not get twisted on any of that shit. All these things you have to say about shit, this shit's not accurate. It's really not accurate. Because it's really not going to really get down to the bottom of the thing. Because that's like saying that you can't wash your ass. I can almost promise you, some of the people who say this shit, they can be some of the nastiest niggas in existence. And we know they can be. So let's not go there. Let's not go there. Let's not do that. You should have a base level amount of pride for the shit you saying. No. Let's not do that. No, sir.
Yeah, bro.
Gar, you did it again.
Bro, because I've been screaming the same thing. All this shit is fucking embarrassing, bro, and we have nobody to blame but ourselves. Wash your ass. That game at Apex, Fortnite is not going anywhere. What are we dropping, boys? In the tub, bitch. And our next hot take comes from Spreet, who goes on to say, streaming ruined first-person shooter games. You used to be able to come home and chill and just vibe to some
So here's the problem. You're trying to say first-person shooter games. Man, streaming ruined competitive games. Broadcasting. A competitive environment where you are competing for attention. Where your clips can be used to pop off a career. How dare you, streamer, ruin my gaming environment? Nigga, just say that you don't want to get your ass washed. Just say you don't want to get your ass washed. Stop it. Bad argument.
Team deathmatch or some casual multiplayer, but now basically every game is some giga sweat playing a 6,000 hour on the game, trying to be the next Shroud. And
well, you see, that's the nature of when you see somebody doing an easy job, that everybody thinks that they can do the job too. That's how that works. If you don't like the fact that that's how that works, you kind of have to address the fact that the reason that's why that works is because that's how that works. It works like that because there are people that feel a certain way and carry themselves to a certain tone. They do those things for those reasons. There's a purpose behind it. They want to be famous. You just have to deal with it. You have to deal. You have to deal. Negro, you have to deal.
And to that I say, I don't know if I agree that streaming and like YouTube and content creation has ruined multiplayer specifically.
Disagree. Yes, it has. In the particular ways where it matters, if you're not playing single player, or if you are playing in an environment where it is not necessarily player versus player, but instead player versus environment, yes, it has. And even for player versus player, player versus environment, yes, it has. Because the ultimate problem at the end of the day, with all the concerns that could be had about the problem, is that at the end of the goddamn day, the issues that create the issue, the biggest issue of all, there are people that are hypocritical on that standard. So, if I try to broadcast, and I am just being myself, and somebody comes into my chat room and tries to invoke, yeah, that's why I owned you with your 100 follower ass. Do you understand that that is a nature of competitive? That when they do that, they're trying to justify using what they can look at as metrics to justify, therefore, my opinion is valid and not. Do you understand that that has nothing to do with sweats and has everything to do with the culture? It's because you're correct. It doesn't actually have to do with streaming. It doesn't even have to do with streamers. It has to do with the space they're occupied in. Guess what space streaming occupies? Competitiveness, money, branding, tournaments, organizations, influencer focused or otherwise. From 100 Thieves being focused on glazing niggas, to FaZe, that originally had like over 500 members, now shredding itself down to a core 13. Those things, those people, those places, those problems, those concerns, all of that shit goes all together to the same place. There are people who are going to legitimize it because they're the ones that are getting platformed to doing it. And for everybody else, yeah, what it is. Like, what do you want from them? They're doing exactly what they want there to do. If you're not competitive, stay your ass out the goddamn rank scene. If you're a casual player, stay your ass out the competitive rank scene. Because I'll make a take. If you play casually, you do not have the opinion to, you do not get to have the opinion to speak about the competitive nature of a game. You don't. But if somebody from the competitive scene comes into your casual area and tries to bully you about you not being it, then by all means resist it. But figure out and address why that is. Because more than likely you're not actually addressing it. You're not being really, you're not being honest. There's a difference between a person tries to flex a thing as though to shame you, and then a person demonstrating and pulling on something that because they have been there, they have seen dime a dozen situations from both sides of the spectrum. Because you have to understand, every single competitive player was once level 1, just like you. Because when you say competitive, competitive doesn't mean elitist. So let's take that out the mix. Because I hate elitist niggas too. Ultimately, nigga, be for real. Who are we talking about? Again, we are not able to define who the fuck we are talking about and what we're trying to address. And I find it preposterous. I find it preposterous. So, ultimately, at the end of the fucking day, if somebody were to come from outside of your friend group, you met them in a video game, but this person is a competitive player, and he tries to remind you, we are from a different world. Things you do here, it's not the shit we do over there. Or, I can understand what you're doing over here, but over there we do something a little bit different. You do not get to then walk up to that person and try to mock them about their experience, because the two things are not going to fucking meet. They're just not. They are incongruent. You're speaking past each other. And ultimately, that person who comes from the competitive environment has something that you do not. Temperament. They were forged in the fires and flames of the 360 era. Because we live in that time period, y'all really don't know what it is for real, for real. Don't make me unmute my microphone and remind you why I set motherfuckers to their own goddamn trauma therapy. It doesn't matter if it's a squeaker. It doesn't matter if it's a grown-ass adult. It doesn't matter if it's a woman. I'm going to talk to you the exact same way I would talk to myself. I'm going to say that again. I'm going to talk to you the same way I would talk to myself. Does that mean you would yell at yourself? Am I being ignorant? Am I trying desperately to misunderstand someone? Yes, I'm going to get loud and I'm going to yell at them. But that does not mean that the emotional yell is prior-picked to a demonstration of a meta-narrative. Oh, look at his voice. Listen to how upset he's getting. Look, nigga, I understand what you're saying. But you need to be for real with me, okay? We ain't got to go to the nines. Tell me what you mean. Nigga, I'm trying to tell you, the cyclone is better than the fucking, tsunami. Why do you say that? Because the cyclone's fucking cycle rate and its actual reload speed means that when you try to pair this with your revolver X9 pistol, I can outshoot you by 5 seconds every time consistently. Look, let me show you. Nigga, I already know this. Really? You already know it? Okay, let's run this fucking script again. I'll even give you Peeker's advantage this time. That's an altitude of 3 seconds. Okay, nigga, here we go. Countdown. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3. Nigga, what the fuck? I told you, nigga! How is that possible? Well, I just said the answer, and you said, I don't believe you. So now I gotta demonstrate. Now that I've demonstrated it, may I show you what I'm talking about? I'm trying to teach you something, nigga! Doing anything at all to pull on that and be like, listen how he said that. Why are you so boisterous? Because I'm passionate. I learned that shit in the lab. That shit won me $10,000, girl. Oh, yes, I'm gonna be passionate about some shit that made me rich. I'm trying to put you on game. But okay, you don't want me to put you on game? No problem. You an easy lunch. Eat that ass, you can make it a pass. Then take it a lunch. I scoop them up quick. Get taken for lunch. Real people with real concerns and real problems, they are going to try and tell you shit. If you don't want to listen, by all means, don't listen. But I will take advantage of you the same way I'll take advantage of anyone in that space. And it would be fair. Because we're competitors. We are there because we want to be there. If you don't want to be there, leave. But stay less in Stardew Valley. Don't come to the competitive rank ladder with the attitude of Stardew Valley modded. Don't do it. Stop it. Don't do it. Because you know you're not being honest. Or you don't walk up to a competitive football player, a competitive baseball player, a competitive basketball player who's had to go through workouts, tryouts, D1 practice, earned their spot, showed their stripes, and you're gonna tell them, excuse me, sir, we're just doing pickup street ball games. Nigga, I understand that, but if I'm just on another level than you, I'm on another level. What, you want me to handicap myself? I can do that for you, baby. Don't you protest to me, bro! Bro, why are you getting so heated? I'm just talking about it. I just know I'm a better player than you. I understand. It's not a big deal. Like you might be experienced in some things, but in this, I am more experienced than you. I'm sorry. What do you want me to do? Again, nigga be's for real. Nigga be for real. Nigga be for real. Nigga be for real. Be for real. Be for real. Anyways. Hello, struggler. I'm fine. I'm in high spirits. I'm in high nappery and high some spirits. Bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it, bring it. Book-a-boo. 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 Why can't I find my window? Because I'm not looking at the right one. Haha.
First-person shooter games that you're talking about. I do think pro gaming to some degree has fucked it up, and I talked about it a little bit earlier. I missed that.
I'm about to call this man on it, because if he says what I think he's about to say, I'm gonna laugh.
That era of games where like the first 3 months a game would come out, everybody would just have fun, test out kits. It's like now a game comes out, everybody's just trying to be the best. No one ever.
Who do you think are the ones who are in the laboratory testing out the kits? who do you think are the ones who are in the lab testing out the kits? Who do you think are the ones who are spamming games, trying shit out? Trying to figure out what works and what's not? I was not being facetious about the tsunami versus the typhoon gun argument. I was actually speaking about the difference between guns in the finals, actually. The difference between using the Uzi and the XP versus using the LH1. Battle rifle. 20 shots in the chamber. Has enough damage to put down a heavy. Easily. In 5 shots. Low, medium-high reload speed. But if you actually chamber your shots, click, 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 means boom, 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 boom. But you gotta be accurate, because it has high recoil and high kickback. XP, the beaner of choice. Easy recoil pattern, easy to manage, fast reload speed, powerful accuracy, across medium range, short range, and if you're very good at your grouping, long range. Can pepper a target as far as 100 meters. Versus the Uzi, the Mac 11. No range. Plus 1 more damage bullet compared to the XP. But machine pistol, you gotta be short range, and it's all about burst. And in the finals, there is no secondary weapon. The weapon that you use is the weapon that you have. Infinite ammunition. Gadget slots can help you, but there's not enough gadget slots in the game that's going to help you with the Mac 11. Because why are you that close? Granted, in Season 2, you have access to gadgets that we didn't have in Season 1. Let alone in the beta. Let alone in the closed beta. And from Piggy to Let's Do It, to all other experts, pros, and more, to those who make up the competitive pro scene and are still grinding out the game to Diamond, or those who are playing casually with their friends. The way that Dax and Marcus and the rest of them over from the Gateway play the Valorant. And they're very good at Valorant. Granted, I will never play Valorant. Number 1, because Riot Games, but number 2, because it's a Counter-Strike clone. Granted, it changes enough that it's different, and I can see the appeal. I watch them play it. I understand the appeal. And yet, I won't play it, just because it's not the kind of game I want. And I already know it, and I don't have to play the game to know that. Because, again, Riot Games, but more importantly, the pro scene for that kind of thing is non-existent. It doesn't exist, because there are no way for you to be able to have the path to it, because I understand how they make their games. And I understand that, for example, if you don't know how to balance your game, but you make the game be balanced around pro players, whatever tech a professional player finds out and demonstrates on stage or in scrims that they are airing on their streams, on the platform of Twitch, or wherever else they could be streaming their content to, you create an environment where if you're not paying attention to the professional scene, that will trickle down all the way to the casual scene. So, Mr. Casual, when you get your shit pushed in by somebody who you think is sweating, man, why am I getting a challenger level player in the game? I'm just trying to pick up this new champion. They're gonna look at you like you're a fucking idiot. What do you mean you're not gonna learn this tech? This shit came down from the high regards of ST Telecom One themselves. Grand World Champions 5 times back to back. You ain't watching Summer Spring Split, nigga? You ain't watching MSI, my nigga? You ain't watching Knockout Stage? Grand Finals. Semi-quarters. That's your problem then, bro. I guess I'm just gonna exploit you. I guess you're just easy lunch. What a dumb argument. How stupid. Of course, the people who are doing this and who are learning it and then bang it out after doing the testing is the sweats. But do you call them the sweats because they're actually sweaty players that are actually grinding it out? Or are you calling them sweats because they actually put in the effort and they're actually able to address your questions, your comments, your concerns, and they are just figuring out that you don't really want it that bad? Or are you calling them sweats because you're not able to tell the difference between the non-toxic and the toxic ones, while you yourselves being toxic? Because the shit you've said thus far is probably the most passive-aggressive toxic shit I've heard from gamers in a good hot minute. Like, how the fuck are you going to talk about gaming and you don't even know what the hell you're talking about? This isn't even a question of getting a dictionary. Nigga, intuit where you are. Intuit where you are.
was, like fucking Ash Ketchum the day it comes out. And to add on to that, I don't think this is the sole reason why multiplayer is so annoying. I think some of it has to do with poor map design and microtransactions and other.
Yeah, but in competitive games, if they had microtransactions that were pay to win, you do realize that the gamers be hooting and hollering. Oh, wait. You see, if they complain about that, that's them arguing about Gamergate shit. Got it.
It's a cesspool of fuck shit. But since we're on this topic of pros, the real tragedy of like all these pro gamers sweating it up and everybody wanting to be like them, in my opinion, what was it all for? And what I mean,
money views, money views going viral, and being good at the game. Stupid.
Is, to be honest, anybody can technically be a pro gamer. Like if you want to,
if you do it for money, you are a professional. If you do it for money, if you do it for views, if you earn any kind of income, whether it be support from your fans or fucking prize winnings from a pool for your performance in an event, you do it as a professional. Therefore, you are a pro. Whether or not you're seen as a foundational pro, that when they talk about you, you're one of the greats. Example, if we're talking about fighting games, and we're not talking about Max, and we're not talking about Daigo Umehara, and we're not talking about Marlon Pai, we're not talking about Justin Wong, and we're not talking about ISC Yipes. What are we talking about? What are we talking about?
let's say you're a pro fighting game player, you just sign up for fucking Evo and you go play. You can drown in pools every year, but that technically makes you a pro gamer, right? The same things with like these shooting games. You just fucking show up to these tournaments with your team. You could lose all you want, but you're still a pro.
But are you performing? Are you competing? Are you getting on stage? Are you signing up? Are you playing scrims? Are you going to semi-quarter? Are you sweeping the loser's bracket? Are you getting $100 and an Annoyatron? Are you getting $1,000 and a $50 gift card to Subway? Are you getting $10,000 and the ability to afford something that actively helps you with your continued streaming career? Are you getting views off your clips? Are you getting clout from your performance? Are you gaining credibility? And are you gaining people able to give you the credibility for being somebody who didn't sit there in a chair talking shit on a YouTube video, but actually showing up and putting your name in the goddamn hat? In the Hatsune Miku handbasket of sweat. So I called you to put your name in the Hatsune Miku. No, then you shouldn't be talking. Sit your ass down. Sit your ass down and stay out of professional players' business.
So I say that to say, was it worth it ruining the fun as a whole for everybody? Not just casuals, but literally everybody? When in reality, most of you are not winning. Most of you are broke. You can't pay your rent. You don't have a salary. You don't have health care. You motherfuckers just sweating on these games.
Okay, so here's a fun thing. Let's separate the people who are actually, you know, doing what I do. They are able to play the game at the same time that they're talking about the shit. If you aren't doing that and you're not making money, again, stay your ass out the pro scene. You aren't made for this shit. You can't talk here. You can't come to this space. You don't have the right mentality. You are not ready. I am going to disavow everything you're saying, because if they unironically are sweats that are just trying hard and can't show any work for it, they don't put in the time, they got ranked anxiety, and they have a big fucking ego and big fucking bridges and can't show shit for it. And when I say show shit for it, they aren't listening, trying, spacing, viewing. I feel like I'm missing something, because I can see you two are here, but I haven't heard you say anything. Is my microphone broken? Okay. I thought I heard you did. I wasn't sure if I was just talking over you the entire time.
No, it's just like I didn't want to interrupt you while you were addressing the points. So.
Okay, thank you. I'm just making sure.
Also, like, I don't know if you missed it last night.
What am I missing?
Struggler and I, we were talking about like kind of like silly religious stuff a little bit.
I can see what's in the remnants of the voice chat, but I don't know, because Star came to me last night while my son had a fever, and I was with her in the car. She brought me dinner.
Oh.
Yeah.
I hope he gets better soon.
she told me what he had, and I looked it up. What was it? He had croup.
It's when their cough turns into like a barking cough because their throat is so swollen. It's pushing on the larynx.
Yeah. So he had croup, and we were just in the car, just enjoying each other's company, and his cough got really bad, so she had to take off and took him to ER, and I was not there for the rest of the conversation, which is why when I came back, it didn't sound like you two were there, so I tried to say, hello, are you guys still talking? Because I know that we heard you, because we were talking to each other while the voice chat was playing, but she kept her microphone muted in the car, so you probably didn't hear anything that we were talking about and saying. But, I didn't hear whatever it is that you were necessarily saying. We knew that you were talking, but we weren't paying attention to the conversation.
Alright.
Yeah, so you'd have to give me context for all that. Although I wouldn't necessarily know what religion would have to do with this.
No, it's just that's what we were talking about that last
Okay.
night. It's not,
Okay.
you know.
Okay. Where was I? Oh yes. You don't get to do that. You don't get to say, I don't like when a person does this. I don't like when a person does that. I don't like when a scene does this. I don't like when a scene does that. But you're not a part of the scene. You want to criticize good content creators and how they make good content, but you don't make content of your own. And by that I mean, you want to criticize people's YouTube videos, which you can be allowed to do that. You don't have to be a content creator in order to be able to have the opinion to say, I think this video is good and here's why. I think this video is bad and here's why. I think this video is alright and here's why. But you also do not then get to try to mock somebody who does do something for money and especially their experience is pulled upon the fact that they do it for money, and their ability to earn that income comes from the fact that they have to do shit in a forward-facing capacity where they are always in front of a microphone and they're always in front of a camera, and the way that they carry themselves in public is the same way they carry themselves in private. You don't get to then mock that person and say, oh, yes, Mr. Streamer, you're going to learn us all about it. Yeah, I probably could. But you're also resistant to the change of it, so what the fuck are we talking about? You can't do this. Too many people do that, especially with Twitch alone. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Especially if you know that you would be the first person to cry foul should you claim that someone's being elitist to you in that sense. Because the professionals would start dogging your ass the way that you could try to dog people in your group. By all means, be amongst yourself and do what you do. But do not bring that to the fucking streamers and the content creators that are going to give you a barometer of credibility. And when you don't meet that base credibility, where you're whining about shit that's just the nature of the rough and tumble environment, but it's not the nature of the rough and tumble environment because it's just rough and tumble and blah, 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 blah. It's that they expect you to know that this is what it is. Because if you go to a fucking gaming tournament, it's going to have different expectations than, say, the rooms and the rules of someone's home. The house rules that somebody lives by in their actual home that they invite you into is different than the fucking environment of a public gaming space. Don't have to say it's a community or whatever. You should have the ability to understand that, because it's the same rules that operate in your work environment. If you know the environment is a headhunter environment, do not whine when niggas are willing to play the game. You can't. It's hypocritical. It's ridiculous. And it makes people look stupid. Especially when you think about it in the long term. But people don't really think about it in the long term. They think about it by their own standards, and they set their limitation, and they hypocritically have that line for themselves, where they have that judgment of everyone else, but it never applies to them. And that's just dumb.
Games trying to go pro, because the reality is only one team wins, one player wins depending on the tournament. And if it's a team, you got to break that down into splits. Then you got
that has nothing to do with the legitimacy of a person who competes and a person who does not. If you do not compete, you have less credibility and you have less arguments than the team that competes. I don't care if they're splitting $1 5 ways. They played for the money. You didn't. End of story.
to pay taxes. I would say it's not that bad that the casual experience is being ruined by the pros. If there was a sustainable business model for pro gaming, for
You mean like streaming? You mean like broadcasting?
those of you unaware, pro gaming is not a profitable business. The Overwatch League collapsed.
Sir, what? Huh? Competitive streaming environments on Twitch, YouTube, and other competing platforms like Kick is when Overwatch League? Hello? Hello? Alright, we're just gonna ignore whatever he has to say for now. He's cooked. Nigga, you cooked. No, you're not credible. You're cooked, nigga. Nigga, you're cooked.
A lot of these teams, maybe 100 Thieves, maybe the top 3 esports teams are made.
So, 100 Thieves, while they are a competitor in the sense, they are not necessarily an esports team. They are a influencer circuit. Just like people who are a part of OTK. OTK Dick Sucks events throughout all of line stream fails. They're not playing high level video games. Some are, but not all of them. Many of them are just personality streamers. Many of them are just putting up VODs and videos of their gameplay. And they're co-streaming with their friends, who are also streamers. It's no different than when I'm playing games with Dax, and playing games with Marcus, and playing with Sage, or playing with my wife, or playing with our mutuals here. It's no different. They're just co-streaming. And yet, they are making money that is legitimizing their business. And they don't have to enter a single fucking tournament in order to legitimize their stance. Because that's a form of content creation. The same way that setting up a tournament environment and a tournament realm or a tournament scene that then allows players to then make their own tournament system, make their own betting matches, make their own money matches, as well as having the properly structured tournament environments with rules, regulations, and standards and expectations, and the Scrim environment that is a extension of that, where you can have, and I'll quote it directly from the finals collective tournament, when it comes to the Scrim rules. Where is the scrims? I'm trying to find the scrim definitions. Might be in a different place now. Ah, here we go. He moved it to a different place. Game mode. All games for a competitive playlist must be played inside the ranked playlist in the game. There are no rank requirements for being able to enter into the verification of a race to get to the highest rank. You must live stream participation of yourself in the event, with your VODs enabled. This is to make sure that footage is available for review in the cases of disputes or for verification purposes. And if in the case of 2 players on a team cannot be able to stream, they're going to have to record their game. So, you need to have evidence that you are playing and you're not cheating. You need to report the match results of your performance into a channel that is a part of a collective space that is managed by a group of people. All of which are going to be competitive players that are there for the purposes of getting better. They could be streaming every day, or they could only stream a couple of times. And it is what it is. Prizing for payouts for winning will be sent within 14 business days from the end of the tournament via PayPal, because it cannot be exchanged for gift cards or any other materialized product, and initially, the use of any glitches and bugs will disqualify you from the payout, if not from the tournament itself. The match count. Only the games played within the designated tournament time frame will be counted towards the tournament results. Tiebreaker. In the event of the ties and the number of wins of a match, a tiebreaker will be determined by the total number of kills achieved by each team. Whichever team has the highest total kills will win the tiebreaker. So, if you are competing against another team and you're trying to race to see who can place the highest on the ranked billboard, your entire goal is to have better numbers than them. Consistently put up more games. Therefore, you're sweating because you're putting up match after match. Win a match, immediately log back in, grind out. 8-hour sessions, and rules you must follow that are a part of it. Game rules. No nukes. The use of C4s on throwables are prohibited in all your matches. Why? Because it's a cheap tactic that in its nature causes the causality and the balance of a competitive rank system to be broken. An agreement amongst all competitive players. A casual player doesn't have to care about that, but your bitch ass ain't competing in the tournament if you can't follow the rules. And obviously, no exploiting and no bug use. Whether that be cheating, exploiting, using well-known map glitches or bugs, etc. These things are in place to give you the ability to compete. If a nigga's allowed to take goddamn stems and he tries to place in a tournament that's based on the amount of adrenaline and genetic reactants in his body, stimulants or otherwise, if not illicit hard Schedule 5 drugs, or excuse me, Schedule 1 and 2 drugs. You gonna tell me you gonna feel real good if you play a pickup game where you bet $100 that all of a sudden some big Matumbo looking ass nigga comes and washes you and you find out this man is on 15 concoctions of steroids? You gonna feel good about it? You gonna let your friend let you get your money taken? You gonna feel nice about it? No, you won't. Neither will you in a competitive environment. You'll be goddamned if you were to show up in a goddamn tournament. You'd feel good about it. Because even if they were like, listen, you did lose, but that was some bullshit. That's entirely different than you saying, he was being cheap, he was using a gun that I don't respect. Yeah, but the gun's legal. In fact, he tried to tell you about the setup, about how he was going to be able to beat you with a 3-second conversion because you take too long to reload because you use the worst reload gun in the game. This is a competitive environment, bitch. Boo-hoo. You don't want to lose? Go to the lab next time and learn what you're talking about. But you see, we just were playing the game to learn what he's doing, and these guys are spamming these tactics. They're being broken. Nigga, we're the ones that made the shit. You see that name right there? You see that signature on the top corner of this free document that you're referencing to? That's me. Those were my handwriting. That was my advice. You're complaining to me about the tactic that I discovered within the first week of playing the game that I just learned because I was shooting the breeze with my friends? Oh, but when I do it, it's grinding, it's sweating. You can't respect me. But I try to give you the respect to understand that, but you can't get that? You gotta call me an elitist? You gotta call me a gamer chud? Then start insulting things like my body and my fucking cleanliness when I'm the cleanest nigga in the room? Damn, nigga, you stink. You smell like loser. Maybe sit down on the bench. Maybe stick to playing casual. Come back when you're ready to compete. If people were to say that to them and were to act like that, they would definitely be mad about that shit. I can almost promise you, dead ass, not even joking. If I were to convince Liam, and if I was convinced Dax, and I was convinced Marcus, and maybe Struggle Bus is somebody else I trust. Maybe I could pull Baku for it. I think Baku would be good as a competitive player on a team. And we started looking for games where we could be able to organize 3 to 5 man structures for grinding sessions, and we started competing in tournaments. I can almost promise you I could come up with 100 different cases of conflicts that will arise from me challenging people on this notion. And I think Dax will be the first one to be like, hey, yo, nigga, shut your bitch ass up. We all came here to learn. What are you talking about? Nigga, are you mad because you lost? That's wild, bro.
No, I disagree on that part.
Who do you think will be the first one to do it then?
With something akin to this?
Yeah.
Probably Liam. Maybe. maybe even me. I'm not sure. But I know Dax for a fact would probably be trying to discern and trying to get past through something. Even if he knew that, like, this type of shit could happen, he'd probably either say, like, hey, this is kind of a rigged game, maybe, and probably would try and figure out a way to try and get it back in his benefit, maybe. I'm not sure. I would speak honestly for him full on, but I tried to make sure it's, like, real.
So I'll pose to you the same situation that I made as a comparison here. Let's say Dax is competing against one of these people who believes that sweat is when you play the game and you learn things and then you start grinding it out by trying to get better at a particular setup. Let's say he learns that a particular gun setup in whatever shooter, let's use Valorant as in a case example. Let's say he learns that a particular gun setup for a character gives him the ability that if he uses that setup and he actually knows how to outplay the particular gun by somebody has, that he will have an advantage of 3+ seconds on his reload to be able to dumpster somebody with peeker's advantage, and somebody claims that he's hacking, the classic accusation, and he's like, no, actually I'm not hacking. There's a thing I can show you. Like, I can try to teach you. He's like, bro, I don't care about your sweat tactics. Do you think Dax would continue to be like, no, listen, I'm trying to put you on the game, and I'm trying to teach you how this thing that I learned? Or do you think you'd be like, oh, for real? Okay, run it back.
I think that he would try to teach at first. Admittedly, yeah, he would try to teach because him and I kind of know how to operate when like we speak on like when we're competitive and shit. You know how to slightly speak on that behalf. But if somebody's being like negative and really shitty towards us, I know for a damn fact that Dax would start going like, all right, bet, and start whooping ass.
And what
He would not give a shit at that.
And then after he whoops their ass, is he going to come back and be like, so do you want to learn how I'm doing this to you, or am I still hacking? Like, here, nigga, pick my gun. Pick my gun, nigga.
No, he would just leave it at that. He would beat the shit out of you and leave. as respectfully, of course.
I mean, nigga, me, I'm the esport professional here, legitimately. So I've already said what my piece was. But see, I'm more savage. I would be the one to be like, nigga, I'm trying to teach you. Like, oh, I'm cheating. Okay, back. Run it back. Round 1, match 1. All the way to fucking 99-1. Like, okay, you say do you think I'm still cheating? Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna close my eyes, take my controller, pick my character. Let me know when you're done. Are you done? Okay. Whoop your ass again. Okay, pick my character again. Go, quick, here. Fuck up my custom. Take out what you think is cheap and what's broken. Oh, wait. Oh, you done? Let me go ahead and whoop your ass with the shit that I already learned from being in the lab. Alright, so I gave you the ability to show that I know what I'm doing. I allowed you to set the terms, you know, give yourself an advantage. I played at a handicap. I beat your ass there. I beat your ass there. I beat your ass. Now, can I tell you the shit I was trying to tell you? Or are you going to keep telling me? Oh, you're just going to keep talking over me? You're going to interrupt me? Oh, okay, cool. I understand. I see. Me cheating is when I win legitimately and fair. Because, hey, tournament official, can you please play run back for the last hour in match 3, booth 21, please? Thank you. And streamer, Mr. Streamer Man, with the streamer deck, can you play back feedback from Single Player Call's live stream from hour 1:21:2 to 5:37? Put it on double speed. Make sure you zoom in on the camera that shows that I handed him my game. There is no device. Let me empty my pockets. There is no cheating device. I have no XM. Can I get an official on this? I want this player disqualified. Are you wanting to continue this forward, or do you want me to explain to you what happened to you? Oh no? Okay, bet. And then when they get disqualified, listen, bro. I don't think you made for this. I think you are soft as baby shit. I think you're not being honest. I think you were easy lunch. But I think for your mentality, it is best that you stay over there. Go back to Stardew Valley. You're not made for this. I would definitely do that shit. Because as a competitive player, as a coach, and as an analyst, there is a barometer that you have to have that is expected of you. Again, the rules of the house rules of an outside space. Call it public, call it private. My server's public. I would say Dax in your server, I would say it's maybe semi-public and semi-private. But for a case of public or private, I would say yours is private. Saf knows what I'm talking about, but I'm not trying to talk about that exactly. This is tangential to that. If we're in a public space, like a competitive scene tournament, there's an expectation, which is you're not going to whine, you're not going to cry, you're not going to say someone's cheating, we're not going to make accusations. If you're losing, accept it, be a good sport, be a good competitor and shake my hand and say good game. Nigga, I'm gonna get your ass next time, but good game. I would rather you not hide your anger and your animosity and just say, nigga, I hate that I'm losing to you. Okay, you can hate it, but you're gonna keep losing, bitch. You're gonna keep losing, bitch. And you should be able to take the ribs, you should be able to take the barbs, you should be able to take the jokes. Because if I gotta call over a third party to make sure and witness and confirm for everyone here, since you've decided to accuse me of shit that I'm not doing, but then you're like, no, I don't need them because they're on your side. Huh? The tournament advisor's on my side? Like, he knows of me. He has a back history with me. But his job is to keep us both legit. You're wiling! I don't know. Shorthand. TLDR. If you soft as baby shit, don't play competitive. That's my bottom line. If you're soft as baby shit, don't play competitive. Don't come up with cope about gamers being chuds and being Nazis and being gamergators and them stinking, and then complain about them being the ones who make that set up and do the testing for the builds that you then use to just come home and chill competitively and casually. And certainly do not say that about games that are tangential to an environment, which I don't think you were there the other day, but I think Dax was there, and I explained it to Dax. My problem and my situational issue with how Riot Games balances their games. Most specifically, I was addressing him and Ninja about how the balance of League of Legends, now that it's being tilted towards pro play, because pro players are playing on the same patch as the rest of the player base, but because the game is being balanced around them trying to force certain meta picks for pro professional players, that because they're not balancing and considering how that's going to be affected, and then the entire setup of how the actual pro scene is being ran in terms of their 100% top-down constructed league circuit, at least, especially in the case of the American product, but for all over it, from everything from spring and summer split all the way to Worlds, if you're losing in your in your casual matches to players that are playing competitively because they're copying the competitive players, I don't believe you get to have the right to complain and say, oh my god, I can't avoid the sweats anywhere I go, because you're inherently playing a sweaty game. And this guy, unironically, it's up here in the watch together. It specifically is addressing streaming ruined FPS games. Nigga, what do you mean? Niggas are making money by playing the games competitively and casually. And even then, FPS games, probably some of the most competitive games out there, because your reaction speed and your skill dictates whether or not you're going to place in the grand finals or not? Huh? And then they say, now basically, every single gamer is some kind of Giga Sweat playing on the 600th hour of the game, trying to be Shroud. No, nigga, I'm trying to be single-player Carl. I beat Shroud last match. I dog-washed him and his team between myself and Liam. With you and Dax. Huh? Why would I need to be Shroud when I can be Carl? Huh? The framework and the actual setting and the mentality of the opinion is just so out of whack. It doesn't align with reality. And what's worse is this guy is definitely playing up the idea that, well, you see, it's just like that, and you gotta believe that it's like that, and it's not. I'm at 4 minutes and 7 seconds of a 28 video, and it's like you're just not telling the truth. That's why I've been talking for so goddamn long. You're just not telling the truth. There are so many ways you're wrong. There's so many arguments where you're wrong. Just don't play competitive. You can't handle it. You don't understand how the space works. You can't be here.
Making money. Most of these teams are not making money. They're bleeding cash, and that's why every year one of them closes down. I could justify the casual.
I mean, there's a bunch of streamers that don't have the temerity to keep it going. And unfortunately, that's not actually an argument. And that's not accurate. And I can tell you why. If somebody gives up being a content creator, it's because they chose to prioritize something else over something else. They can put the controller down, but they can pick it back up. If a person's trying to become a meta-level content creator, like Asmongold, they're going to have to curb their enthusiasm. You don't get to go from my level to Asmon's level overnight. It's a process of effort over time. one might be able to call it, I don't know, grinding, for example. Excuse me, adult. Excuse me, Mr. Business owner. I'd like you to hire me immediately and promote me to the position of CFO. No, I don't believe I should put in 15 years of work, just like the CFO did. I believe I should be allowed to just show up and take the position. Does that sound fair? Does that sound reasonable?
Not at all. But then again, that person's like Delulu as shit, obviously.
It's a Delulu argument. It's a Delulu position. And if he tries to argue it from the position of, well, how do you know? Because I am that. What do you mean? And if you then mock it and say, oh, yeah, sure you are. It's like, but I am. Do I not have a YouTube channel? Do I not have a Twitch channel? Have I not made money over the years? I know for a fact that I have. I can show the numbers. But even then, I don't have to actually show the numbers of how much I earn. And then if I were to show the numbers, oh, look at you. You have an ego. Huh? I have provided evidence to legitimize my position. Okay, I see. You can't win with that. It's impossible to win with that. Because at that point, it's not even about the money. It's emotional. It's an emotional-based argument. And you just have to ignore it. Because if you get emotional about video games like this, you will never climb. If you get emotional about your streaming career like this, you will never grow. There's a certain thing of a victim mentality that you have to, you have to mentally keep yourself in check. Yes, in this situation, I'm being victimized, but I can't be a permanent victim. It's impossible. You have to, at some point, say, you know what? Actually, I did my best. I can be upset that I didn't perform as well, but you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take that emotion, I'm going to take that drive, and I'm going to go to the lab, and I'm going to get busy. Next time! That's an entirely different mentality and an entire different approach to, they just didn't let me win. I couldn't get to pick my gun. It was banned. These rules are stupid. And then letting people mock you into fucking quitting. Letting somebody be... Man, imagine getting filtered. Imagine getting filtered, bro. Imagine getting filtered and you come up with a bunch of arguments to say how it's not actually getting filtered. Could you respect somebody like that?
Not particularly, no.
That's crazy. That's crazy. And it's also crazy how the shit I'm describing actually describes something else, but we're not going to talk about that.
Experience being ruined if pro gaming generated a marketplace that provided jobs. Like if kids were able to wake up and be like, one day I want to be a cameraman in the Overwatch League or the 2K League, or I want to be somebody like a stage director or a coach for a team, or I want to play for a team, or a jersey designer. You see what I'm saying? Like if pro gaming created this powerful economy that supplied jobs across several different...
So what do you mean if the gaming scene is supplied... Nigga, are you serious? Again, disregard what this nigga's saying. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Field, and I could be mad. I don't know if it'll ever get better because pro gaming has a serious issue compared to other professional sports. Whatever sport.
Pro gaming, professional gaming, competitive gaming has the exact same barometer of entry and the exact same, literally, the exact same positions as every other traditional physical sport. The fact that it is not as physically strenuous on the body, but still requires cerebral, cognitive, and then at least physical hand-eye coordination dexterity means that anybody can do it. It is the most inclusive, it is the most incorporating, and it is the most diverse sport in existence. Everyone, unless what we're talking about is DDR. Shout out to my crippled niggas.
Sage is amazing at DDR. That's her feeling.
Bro, imagine if there were people who unironically went around to every single South Korean gaming cafe that had a fucking shuffle and or DDR clone machine, being like, "This is bullshit. This is discrimination against the unable-legged." I should be allowed to destroy the machine with my broken wheelchair wheels. There should be a function that allows me to play the game with my hands, standing, doing fucking hand spins, and if I can do it, it should be done. But at the same time, they were not ironically be a nigga that's like, okay, bet, hands and knees, handstand, doing the same high-tier performance. Imagine a nigga doing a handstand performing Dynamite Rave. God. Nigga, imagine!
Shout out Bray Legs. Rest in peace.
Oh my god! Excuse me, Carl. What the fuck are you talking about? Oh, do you guys not know? He pantomized to himself as he used this as an excuse to demonstrate one of the hardest songs in the history of the DDR, Beat Mania, and any other Step Mania chart sheet. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to present to you Dynamite Rave on the highest setting.
Oh, I remember at Job Corps there was a DDR machine in the activity room. I would play on that all the time.
I believe for this I'll use Beat Mania and I'll also use DDR Extreme. I don't wanna give up. Gonna have a party, gonna have a great time. Yeah, feel the beat. Listen to the music while you feel that heat. Or is it feel my heat and ride that beat? Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Dynamite Rave. At least Dynamite Rave DDR Extreme Heavy first.
Second stage. Are you ready? Let's stick.
Come on, everybody.
Also, keep in mind what you're seeing on the screen. That's the game at 1.0 speed. The majority of people who play DDR, Step Mania, and Beat Mania play at 3 times or higher. The ones that usually go viral in the clips, they're playing at the speed of 5 times as a standard.
Jesus Christ, we're all the same.
And Sage can play like that.
Yep. My legs can't move that fast.
That's why DDR machines and shuffle machines have back handlebars. You're supposed to hold on to them.
Yeah.
That's what those were for.
I mean, it's obviously so they don't fall off, and people use them too. They use them.
Like it's the ones that don't need to use them have a very high trained sense, and they usually have favorite songs. They have favorite step charts, and there are very different versions of them. But if you're using a machine that isn't like running a cracked version of it, or you can insert your own custom step charts, they are usually playing on standardized step charts, so they've become accustomed to the note sheets. And the ones that are able to do it, where they make it look like they're fucking dancing unironically for real, they have an extremely cultured and honed sense of balance in centripetal force. They've mastered, it's called flow state movement, also known as Naruto dodging. They have an inherent flow state movement. If I've tried to demonstrate this for you, because this is something that I demonstrated as a part of football and as a part of cross country, there is a particular kind of physical motion that your body takes when you do things. The idea that if you're going to turn to your left, you're going to turn to your left. The idea that you're going to turn to your right, you're going to turn to your right. But if you take a look at the camera on the stream and you demonstrate something, if I wanted to move immediately to the left as I'm rounding a corner, the way that I should do that shouldn't be as I approach a corner that is a building from the straight on position and it has a corner to the right. I'm not going to turn my body to the right. I'm going to do a 360 backwards and round the corner. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does.
Same thing the other side. If there's a corner to my left and I'm around the corner and moving in the direction to the right, I'm not going to reach the corner and move to the left. I'm going to do a 360 and round the corner. This is the basis of choreography and shuffle dancing. That's why certain things, camera focus. Camera focus. There you go. It is the basis on why the dances look good and have movement. The biomechanics of your body work a specific way. And if you understand how your biomechanics move, step charts like this, wrong screen. Step charts like this are easy. Because the particular movement for these particular setups from his position would be extremely simple. So, Step chart, left, right, up, down, 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 twist, 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 turn, twist, double up, double up, When the nigga's in the flow state, you probably couldn't even see that because I had the window up at the same time. So I'll double that again. So if it was moving, double up,
Somebody close.
If we're in our flow state on DDR, as my fucking shorts sag. If we're in our flow state, excuse me, in DDR, we gonna get sweaty for one. But two, that's how we do it. It's these shorts. The fucking strings are fucking dead on these pants or these shorts, and the elastic's fucking broken. But it's not hard. There's an entire shorthand on how to do this. And shit, DXD third for speed rate, dynamite rate is even worse.
Take a minute.
I am.
Take me.
Calm yourself,
We were talking about
Well, that's happening. Let me change my pants.
Don't
But
bother.
yeah, just look at the stream, and then look at the step notes for the Dynamite Rave Another version.
He was
This is playing at like double speed, but it's playing in a similar rate to what I was just doing.
Yeah, going to the mall and then just playing that.
Oh, you just reminded me that I have the mall in my town. I might have to visit one of these days. Hopefully it's still open.
I changed my jeans. But hopefully my physicality has exacerbated my point.
To be fair, you were a far better DDR person than I was.
Now, let's take the context of DDR as the competitive scene that we're talking about. Do you think an argument about cheating would apply? No. What am I cheating? Am I cheating God? Was I born biologically different than my nigga?
I mean, some people be like that. Some motherfuckers just built different.
True. The Koreans be wild because they be doing shuffle dancing at the age of fucking 5. But then, for the argument of like teaching them the skill, if we were in a competitive DDR tournament and I just had a better step chart, because when you're ranked in something like that, you're only ranked on points, chain, and your maximized quality. If a person has a different letter score than the other, then the letter score will apply the effect of how you win. So if I placed S on Dynamite Rave Another, and I placed S plus or the maximum amount on the highest setting, those multipliers would play into effect, but ultimately, in a competitive tournament scene, they would either have you playing standardized on either a proper note chart, or they would have you playing in the same difficulty setting. So if the standard chart is the maximum difficulty, or rather is the only difficulty being allowable, your score will not matter if you try to go to a higher step chart. So playing on the extreme step chart of these songs is not going to allow you to win because you just outbiting them points. But if you're playing on the same ranking and you have a higher letter grade on both songs than theirs, then you automatically win. If you both have the same letter grade, it is then judged on your upheld combo as well as how many actual hits you give, because it obviously calculates at the end. See if it puts it here? Yes, right, it does. You would be calculated at the end for your step chart, if it's not baselined out to a certain number, for how many you do. So in here, on second stage Dynamite Rave, which is Dynamite Rave Heavy on DDR Extreme, they're playing on the heavy difficulty, which is the highest difficulty. 349 perfects, 44 greats, 2 goods, 1 bad, 2 misses, and 0 okays, which is neither a perfect nor a miss, it's just you hit the note. If my score, if we receive the same letter grade, was not higher than his score, then I would lose. But if my score on this matched him, but then I had a higher note score, but he also placed a lower note score between the two songs, if I had an S on one and an S on my second song, and he had an S on the song that matched my number, but he had a failing number here, the only way he can be able to win is if he has a combined total score better than mine. Because that's how they're calculated. If he were to say that I somehow cheated during a tournament like that, he would be laughed out of the fucking room. Especially if I tried to teach him and say, listen, there's an easier, cleaner way for you to hit those notes. Because when you start playing games like DDR Beatmania and a Shuffle Dance Machine, the biggest thing that's going to happen is African Americans and South Koreans will become the same race for exactly 5 minutes.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
Because the same...
And if they're half and half?
It's going to be funny. It's going to be even funnier because they're going to be using borrow words from the other language. Unironically, the cadence and how they talk shit is the same too. Broken ankles. Today we learned that Carl knows how to speak South Korean.
In that case, I think you would really like Library of Ruina, because it's made by a South Korean company.
I mean, dance machine games are the same no matter who makes them. Granted, some of us have nostalgia for Konami and Bamani, their music studio in-group brand that has all the traditional in-group and known artists from Captain Jack and more. But the entire point... Rest in peace, Captain Jack. The point I'm trying to establish here is that you cannot apply this argument across the field, because the problem is that this bullshit it's a nitpick argument. The rules and definitions and the examples and the comparisons only exist in a super narrow mindset. And because they apply in a super narrow mindset, and the information that obviously proves it is based on what you can prove from experience. If somebody entered into these spaces, entered into a tournament, or even played casually with other people that are trying to give them this notion and give them this knowledge, their emotions and their opinions only allow it to work in this super specific, hyper excluded case. Because obviously, competitive scenes is not when Overwatch League. Obviously. Esports is not when Overwatch League. Esports is not when Riot Games esports. To be so asinine to say that, while then complaining about streamers, and why streamers grind content. What? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And then when you remove it from the, okay, let's not talk about video games in the case of you're only using a controller. Let's talk about the games that require you to use your body. It destroys the argument. It blasts it out the fucking water. Was I pretending? Was I cheating when I demonstrated the logic and showed the technique and then the power execution of my point? And then I realized I failed to be a good streamer, and I still had a window up on screen that made it impossible for people to see it. And it probably would have been made better if I had picked up the webcam, put it on top of the monitor, and pointed it at my feet to make it even more clear what was happening.
Yeah.
How does it apply? Do you think about these things before you say them? And if they were to try and interrupt me non-stop, not even let me finish my example, so I just started swagging. So I literally just started emoting on them. I start demonstrating the point while talking over them, while still being able to hold the point. I don't know. Who's the better content creator? Who's the better streamer? Who's the better player? Is it the guy that's doing 3 things at once while still making a point? Or the person who's trying to filibuster nonstop? And the fact that I'm not even talking about the thing that I'm supposed to be talking about, but I'm not talking about, it all just applies, because it's all the same logic. I don't understand how you apply this here. How are you making excuses for this shit off of tweets, off Twitter, and you don't even broadcast? Which, to that edge, 1 second. The Black Hokage. Accidentally started over.
Hokage?
Yes.
Oh boy. Oh dear.
Is he a known person? Is he a known person?
I actually do know this fucker.
Yes, I do know him too.
The Black Hokage. Okay, let's see here. 3.19k followers on Instagram. He plays fighting games. Where's your Twitch? You got Twitch? You got YouTube? Where do you stream? 720k subscribers. Where's your at page? Where's your links? I'm just saying. Hokage highlights, GI podcast. Where's your Twitch? Thank you. Black Hokage. Just Chatting, Stellar Blade, Rise of the Ronin, No West for the Wicked, Fallout 76, X Defiant. Okay. Okay, nigga, I don't do this often. We're pulling up Sully Gnome. I don't do this often, but I'm pulling up Sully Gnome. Carl, what's Sully Gnome? Sully Gnome is a Twitch statistics and analytics page. The Black Hokage.
He has some interesting takes. Like, they're very interesting.
Should I at least give some rundown? Cause I do know something.
Go ahead.
Okay. Okay. Remember when G4 came back around that time? And the girl frosted her whole sort of like rant thing. There was a guy in the background that said, "You go, Frost." Guess who that was?
It was the completionist.
No, it was the Black Hokage.
It was that nigga right there.
Oh, it was him?
Yep.
All right.
Was him.
So the numbers are on the screen. I'll even project this in here.
And guess what he got caught doing after he got caught doing that?
Was he view botting?
Well, not only that. Well, not that. But looking back at his streams and everything else, he was extremely sexist. All these other things that I don't think Frost would actually, appreciate. So him saying that shit kind of just put a giant target on his back.
That's crazy. Oh, wow. All right.
Yeah.
So, what am I looking at? I'm looking at, this is 7-day. Give me your 365. All right, variance total. This was a peak spike of 1,000. That's the variance chart of what were you doing on that day. Doesn't even say. So, three figure Andy, regular run of the mill, literally who are you partnered streamer, milk toast. But on the categories of games played, we've got Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Rise of the Ronin, Apex Legends, Pal World, Starfield, Helldivers 2, The Finals, Mortal Kombat 1, Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown, Final Fantasy XIV, X Defiant, Tears of the Kingdom, Unlisted, Call of Duty Warzone, Stellar Blade, Armored Core, Special Events, Exoprimal, Wonder, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, No Rest for the Wicked, Immortals of Aveum, Nickelodeon All-Star Brawls 2, and it just starts getting lower and lower and lower and lower. We got Bluey the video game, Foam Stars, The Final Descendants, The Legend of Pirates Online, Counter-Strike 2, Bluey the video game again. Apparently, there's 2 different Bluey the video games. On Guard,
Okay.
Crash Team Rumble, and then if we go towards the ones that are the biggest, obviously read that one. Jis, Suicide Squad, Assassin's Creed Mirage, Alan Wake 2, Jedi Survivor, Insomniac Spider-Man 2, Dragon's Dogma, Tekken 8, Street Fighter 6, Remnant 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Lies of P, NBA 2K24. We will not make comments. We are all niggas here. We are all niggas here. We will not make comments. We will not make comments.
I'm not.
And just chatting, his biggest streamed category, 223 hours, 30 minutes of just chatting. And I'm not looking at weekly standards. I'm looking at 365 days. Of all these games played, while you're sitting here giving opinions about the pro scene, your biggest convention you do is yapping. Really, we should just call just chatting yapping. Yapponomics 101. Your biggest stream numbers. After that, 68 hours of 2K. Alright. Technically, sports game. Technically, PvP. I'm gonna let you hold that. Lies of Plea, single player game. Get that shit the fuck out of here. Baldur's Gate 3, single player game. Get this shit the fuck out of here. Remnant 2. Don't know if that's a competitive game. We're gonna look it up right now.
Remnant 2? No, single player.
Oh, single player game? See this shit out here right now. Street Fighter 6. 45 hours, but you're talking about niggas sweating. Okay, alright, interesting. Barely 2 hours, or excuse me, 2 days of gameplay, but you're talking shit about competitive players. About the competitive scene. About the esports scene. Nigga, even fucking... He's about to make me fucking agree with somebody I dislike. Dominique, Sonic Fox, grinds more than you do, and has more room to dog wash your ass in that game.
Oh, he definitely grinds a lot in more ways than one.
Hey, yo.
Hey.
Hey, yo. Hey, yo.
Oh, Carl, I'm learning. I'm really doing it.
I settle down. Tekken 8, 41 hours. So between this, 45, 41. Dragon's Dogma 2, get the shit the fuck out of here. Insomniac 2, get that out of here. Jedi Survivor, get it out of here. Alan Wake 2, get it out of here. Mirage, get it out of here. Get it out of here. Get it out of here. Apex Legends, 12 hours. Where was the other one? Helldivers 2 doesn't technically count. The Finals, 8 hours. Probably one of the more sweatier ones now that it's found its player base, and thus the people who are still there are, you know, actually no, better yet, I'll rephrase what I'm about to say. Get filtered, nerd. Get filtered, nerd. Oh, why aren't you playing the Finals? Oh, you don't like getting nuked? Get filtered, nerd. Get filtered, nerd. Get filtered. You cannot. You cannot sit here talking shit about this job, pulling in the numbers that you do, and say what you said. That's ignorant. 365 days. You streamed a total of 887 hours. How many days is in 887 hours? 36.9 days. Well, let's use round numbers. In a total of 365 days of broadcasting, or rather, in the time period of 365 days of potential broadcasting, you have only streamed for a total of 37 days. Interesting. We already know that my number is going to be lower, but let's look at Carl's numbers, shall we?
Oh.
Just based on these numbers here, I have 116 to your 194 But this is recording 655. But sometimes I don't always stream directly to my Twitch page. And yet, let's look at some of the numbers of what I have. Time streamed over 365 days. League of Legends. 126 hours! Path of Exile. 109 hours and 30 minutes. DST. Technically single player game, but multiplayer game, but it's not a competitive game, but 91 hours. Helldivers 2. 47 hours. Sir, on both games that are competitive and games that are less competitive, I have more time in the games that you're supposed to be playing competitively, that you're, quote, grinding. The point here is, how the fuck am I doing that? And you can't do it. And you're talking about the competitive scene and about the competitive mindset? You're talking shit about things you don't know. You don't put in the time that you claim that you do. You don't. And yet, if I were to criticize him to his face, he would then say, look at my numbers, look at yours. Like, okay, what the fuck does that have to do with like that? Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry that I'm not Asmund Gold, so that I can have my point legitimized by you. But let's see if that makes any difference. Put some money on a game, bitch. Come on, Come on, Mr. Three-Figure Andy. What are you scared of? I'm a literally who. It should be an easy munch, right? We can't do this. Bro, no. Absolutely not. No. No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. 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 You don't get to be legitimate doing this. No. Stop it. You're embarrassing us.
I'd make a joke or like a parody of the Metro diff song that Drake made with those mariachi band, but I can't say one of those words, and I don't want to get banned off Twitch.
John, remember what
We got the mariachi band.
John, remember what we talked about? If you don't already have the joke formed in your mind. But I know, I feel you. Don't worry. I can make the joke for you. Back home!
Mariachi.
Hold on. Back home! Shut your bitch ass up and play some games, nigga! Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da! Hawko! Shut your bitch ass up! Why is it always like this? Why is it always like this? Why? Nigga, why? I can't take you seriously anymore! No! Why is it always niggas like this? Why? Why?
Because they know how to network and don't exactly know how to actually play games.
Because then the answer I would then give is, when I got, you call me a three-figure Andy? You a one-figure Andy? Oh, okay. If I let people, if I cucked myself to my positions and I said the politically correct and safe things to build my brand, that would mean I would be fake as fuck, and I would be equally called out by the alternate future timeline Carl, who would look at me and say, nigga, you can't be me. I'm me. Nigga, fuck past Carl. You're mirror dimension Carl. Nigga, I'll wash your ass. Pause. Actually, nigga, wash your own ass. Here, I got... Nigga, wash your ass now. I got the ass right here.
Hose right here. Take this bar of soap, lather yourself up. I'm gonna put it on jet.
He confused, but he got the spirit. Oh, God. I believe I've belabored my point enough. I've made my point. We've seen the numbers.
We have fun here.
But yeah, this is pretty much the same nigga that was doing that shit on G4. It's like, do you expect him to actually be honest about anything? No.
No,
Not
but
at
see,
all.
I didn't even think. But you see, here's the wild part. here's the part that I already said. I don't even have to go to the nines. I don't even have to go to Solinome. I don't even have to put your statistics on the screen and demonstrate that you don't grind. So that you can't talk about grinding. Because you're trying to criticize niggas that grind. They're trying to learn the game. You could probably say, well, I know how to play the game. I put in less time. What do you think that says? I think you don't understand the culture that you desperately want to legitimize yourself and be a part of. I think you don't know what you're talking about. I don't think you really have been where you claim that you've been talking about. No, I don't think you do. I think you are a friendly player. I think you're a casual player who shows up in the game rooms and talks about the niggas playing Naruto Shippuden Storm Connection games that have been playing the same 4 games for 5 years, and when the new version comes out from CyberConnect 2, you're like, oh man, I gotta hold my nose as I walk past these dusty-ass niggas as he's playing his 3 Naruto setup and his Obito Sasuke fucking Kakashi setup. As though you're talking about the same niggas that are grinding DBZF and playing multiple rosters of just Goku versus Goku and Goku versus Goku, Goku, and Goku.
Oh yeah, they got like 12
Featuring
Gokus in that
from
game.
the Goku series.
I think there's 13 now.
Yeah, 13 Gokus.
Like, you cannot...
Like organizing this 13 this bitch.
Like, you don't get to talk shit about a scene that you clearly don't belong in, and you clearly don't participate in, and act like you know what the fuck you're talking about. No, I'm gonna call you on it. And I don't have to go and look through your fucking stream numbers to do it. And because I'm willing to be an honest man, and I'm willing to put my own shit out there, I'm demonstrating things you don't have. The first one is humility, and the first one is humbleness. The first thing is humility, and the first thing is humbleness. Nigga, catch yourself. Second thing is humbleness. And the third thing is a reflection to understand reality and keep in mind where I am. If you are the kind of people who will pull follower numbers, who will pull sub numbers, who will pull money, recognition, to try and get away from the fact that you having numbers and being bigger of a platform of another person does not delegitimize where they come from and their background, you are incapable of arguing about anything. Because the shit doesn't apply, it doesn't work. The logic of how you see the world does not view to video games, because video games and the systems that are created around them are created by people. They're rule states. The fucking rules about duck, duck, go, and duck, duck, goose, and tic-tac-toe, and chess and whatnot are things that apply to your critical thinking skills in life. If nowhere more efficient than in esports. Because the designers that are making the games more than likely in the past were players. Again, ironically enough, one of the biggest statistics that actually get cross-checked a lot when it comes to esports players and their higher education or their particular hobby autodidact education. What do you think the most common degree amongst them is? I'll give you all 3 guesses.
I'm guessing practice?
What do you mean by practice? Is practice
Well,
a
I
degree?
mean, like-
Is practice a degree that you get from college?
Well, technically, but that's just being pedantic. But I mean more like in the sense of understanding and trying to.
I mean, I guess you could say practice, but I was talking about what kind of degree field do you think that is most common amongst them?
Oh, sorry. I'm guessing liberal arts.
This nigga maybe, but no. Anyone else want to take a shot at it? You got 2 more chances.
I got nothing.
Anybody? No one?
Not. I'm not. I'm not exactly participating, unfortunately. With that, I wouldn't know exactly.
Computer science games track. The competitive players know and understand how to balance the games because they are going to school to know how to play games.
Ah, that's what you meant.
I myself am a CPSC major. Or rather, I was. Technically, I and Star have dropped out. But I had to drop out for reasons that involved my family. They're CPSC majors. In the same time that they're using their winnings to take from their tournaments, they're using it to pay for their fucking student tuition so that in the off season they can take online classes to get their fucking jobs. They're taking and doing their lessons in their downtime between scrim plays by looking at Stack Overflow and also looking at Python forms. They're playing scrims and they have a direct line to the developers. So the developers, if they want to ask a pro player in any scene of a game, what do you think should be the way that we would balance this? How many frames do you think this needs to be negative or positive on block? How many frames do you think this should be negative and positive on hit? How many hits do you think should be competitive to the block string for a person to be able to block a full mix-up involving overheads, high-lows, OTGs, and 50-50 teleports? They know so much. We know so much. Because we play the game to the point that we have it broken down to a fucking science. Because it is computer science. Hours and hours of going into the lab, playing in the training room, figuring out the combos, and then showing them to the developer and being like, hey, yo, this was not supposed to work like this. This interaction with this combo is clearly a fucking bug. We have to fix this. Etc., etc., etc. All of that knowledge, all that skill goes somewhere. And when you tell somebody, oh, I'm actually a popular streamer, therefore your opinion is null and void, that's not the way that you should go about that argument. What you actually should go is, actually, I've been doing this job for X amount of years, and I've spent a lot of time doing this, this, and this, and I have a background of doing this, this, and this. So I understand that you're allowed your opinion, sir, but I'm pretty sure I'm a better player than you. I know for a fact I grind more than you. No, you don't. I have more views than you, therefore I'm right. Really? You're more popular than me, therefore you're correct? Okay, if you believe that you're right, put your money where your mouth is. Like, what are we talking about? What are you talking about? It's ridiculous. It's annoying. This is probably one of the worst forms of fucking imperialism I've seen in conversations to date. You cannot. You can't, bro. Nigga, no. Resume. I don't even want to go through the rest of your video, but I have to for the legitimacy of it, because now we have to see what else you think.
2K to make more money. 2K is breaking record profits. That's why that game is fucking ass and they will not improve it. I wish I could bring up the article, but for Madden, reports...
That's a really bad argument. If a game is making record profits, and you want them to learn how to be better about those record profits, it would behoove them to make the game better, to bring in more people. What horseshit?
Came out that 71% of EA's revenue is coming from live service games. Do you know what that means?
It means that they've doubled down in the fact that they have live service games. That doesn't mean a goddamn thing about the actual competitive esports scene, dumbass. Competitive esports is not when Goss model. Stupid.
Madden, FIFA, and probably Apex. That's probably like their big three. Games like Star Wars Jedi Survivor, which is loved it. It's not a live.
We know what this nigga's tastes are.
What?
Tell him himself real quick. That's funny.
Remember what I said yesterday when I was defining the idea of the graphical fidelity upgrade-a-thon?
Yep.
They're all the same.
Very much.
All the fucking same, bro.
And it's the same bland nigga that always seems to buy them.
I want NBA Jam back.
This is why games are $70.
Yep.
Again, please have the temerity to wait till the game is worth the money you think it deserves. Jedi Survivors is not worth $70. It's not worth $30. That's not to say that it's not a good game. It's just not worth that money. The inflation not only doesn't make it not worth that, but it's not even that kind of a game, bro. Path of Exile is free. Assuming that your friend gives you a copy of Don't Starve Together, it's free. And yet, you think that that slop is mwah. Because we're not talking about the plot, we're not talking about the story and the impact the story had on you. We're talking about gameplay, nigga. And then you're tying that into, and remember the title of the video, ladies and gentlemen, Pro Gaming, Ruin the Fun in Games. Where does pro gamers come into Jedi Survivors outside of speedrunners? Nowhere. So why are we talking about it?
Service games, like you saying that like it would make them more money. How much more money do they need? What is EA's net worth like right now?
Would like to mention that there was a far superior product made years ago called The Force Unleashed. That shit was so much.
Well, yeah.
I know, but it's. I also would like to mention the whole degradation of game destruction from last stream based on that. We have Jedi Survivor, a game that was meant to be, oh, well, you now can be a Jedi. And a far superior game was made beforehand, where it had less of the slosh and less of the slosh and less of the ham-fisted storyline that they wrote about the one orange-haired looking motherfucker with his fucking poncho obsession. Instead, we had a person who had his flaws. We obviously knew the storyline about him and what was going on, and it had a mainline character that was so profoundly overpowered that when he went toe-to-toe with the quintessential main villain of Darth Vader, he was beating his ass, but lost ultimately because Darth Vader is still Darth Vader.
And canon bullshit and all that.
Yeah.
I don't want to talk about fucking Force Unleashed, but it is still a better game than fucking Jedi Survivor.
By all means, resume. Pardon me.
EA's market cap, like what's the market cap? This company's worth fucking $34 billion. How much?
And therefore, what?
Here we go.
The company's worth $34 billion. Therefore, my opinions about the pro scene matter when I don't actually participate in it. I'm just a fucking tourist.
Definitely a tourist.
How much more money do they need? Like,
Communist detected.
what do you mean?
What do you mean?
Lethal force engaged.
Nah. Communist detect. It's like, imagine my voice is a part of like a Negro-centric warning system. Communist detected. Communist detected. Lethal mockery has been authorized. Inward privileges is pending.
Yo, stop. Just stop. Stop. They don't need no more money. Antmon's hot take is, right now, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is actually super fun, and I love
Wait a minute. Wait. Let him finish.
the story.
Well-
I can't believe it's a major hot take, but anyways, I can believe
This motherfucker, you bland ass bitch.
Granted, he is reading a person's take, but, excuse me? Huh? That's subjective. But let's hear what he has to say.
it's a hot take because I don't agree with this. I don't know about super fun. Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is actually super fun, and I love the story. I can't believe it's a major hot take, but anyways, I can believe it's a hot take because I don't agree with this. I don't know about super fun. I had some fun with the Justice League, but it's way too repetitive. Not enough enemy types. I think the base story is okay, but like what I seen with the DLC with the Joker, and what I seen with the leaks, I feel like this is another game kind of like Anthem where like you could see there's a game there that had potential, but it just didn't have enough time in the oven to flourish. And
Crazy. Now, do you notice how you were able to say that? And the same way that people like myself said that, that wasn't Gamergatey?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Would you say that you have that opinion that it had a potential in its content, but it didn't have enough time in the oven? Would you say that about this game? Would you say that it focused on things that were not necessary, like the plot of the game, and not the gameplay? When you talk about that focus on the plot and the gameplay and the story being fine but the gameplay being ass, and you know that they put more focus into the story and the shit that was put in the story, that they wanted to have a part of that instead of the actual game mechanics, and the fact that those consultancy firms. Oh wait, I'm getting Gamergatey. I'm sorry. I followed a through line of logic, and I got Gamergatey by asking basic questions and noticing things. Noticing things is Gamergatey. I see.
Did you know? Asking questions bad. Don't ask questions. Just consume product.
Noticing things is a problem. When you don't, when you notice, when you smell the shit, that's acceptable. When you turn your head and smell and follow the wafting scent of the shit, and you detect where it is, and you notice that it's coming from your bottle of water, and hey, this smells like somebody pissed in this. Hey, it smells like somebody pissed in this water. Hey, yo, bro, I don't care if people piss in this water. What are you, a Gamergator? You can barely even taste it. How do you know? Or worse, the cook's in the kitchen, and there's no blanketing covering wall. You see him standing up, pulling down their shorts, and squatting over your plate, and like, hey, yo, I don't want no shit on my plate. Monsieur, how do you know that is shit? It's not even up.
Mm-hmm.
What are you, like, get You will consume the product that I give you. It is not it. And then you bring it to me, and it's obviously a big, firm okay. Sir, I don't want to eat this. This is obviously shit. You haven't even tried it yet. You're complaining again without it. Oh man, it's so crazy. That's so crazy, man. Oh, these arguments are so weird. But you know, I've noticed them. Therefore, I'm a Nazi gamer chud that can't get pussy. What's that, wife? Oh my god, I can't!
Really? You gonna pull me into it now?
No. I love my wife. No, sweetie, I'm pantomiming. I was working through a series of very commonly made statements to discredit people and accuse them of things that they supposedly believe. And one of the most common things they say is that the people that they like to criticize with these takes that are very irrational and do not follow logic are supposedly basement-dwelling incel nerds that can't go outside, can't talk to women, can't wash their ass, are nasty as fuck, and have never had sex in their life. And that by me asking these questions, that defines that I must be one of those. But I'm with you. And I clearly know what I'm talking about, because as I demonstrated with my statistics, I am able to analyze these things, not just because I've been here long enough and I've done my job long enough to notice these things, deal with these arguments, and address these concerns both on air and off air, but also because I'm doing it on air around an audience that knows that I know what I'm talking about. We just walked through it. We saw the Solino numbers. We studied the numbers, and the examples I gave with the arguments that I provided for the points I was making, is including the physicality that I just demonstrated with the point that I exacerbated. I wouldn't say exacerbated, but I did make sure that it was clear. I didn't have to pantomime doing a step chart, but I did so for the point of making my point clear. Me doing that was referencing, okay, so all the things that I just said that are actually part of the news story about why Kill the Justice League Suicide Squad is a bad game, they put more focus into trying to corrupt the narrative and the focus of the game with base established character lore. And instead of putting that time they spent doing that and subverting the culture, should have been put into the video game. You know, the video game that they were supposed to make good, but they focused on things that involved a company that have a particular standard and a particular viewpoint and a particular political leaning and a particular idea of how they should create a game. Because I criticized those things, that meant that what I said was invalid, especially if he was to hear me say this critically, repeated back to him as a part of this broadcast in the purposes of React content. But by dipping my head over and saying, what was that, wife? And pantomiming that you were from the other room, that means that the basic accusations you can make of my character do not apply and do not stick. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay. All I heard the first time was ain't that. Well, I heard what you said right before you said wife. I was like, wait, what?
I know. I was being silly. I was doing a silly wife.
Uh huh.
I love you.
You were doing a silly wife all right last night.
Hey, wait a minute. Hey, whoa, I didn't say anything about that on air. I said we were together last night. Now you giving things away. Hold on.
I didn't say anything either. You just did.
No, the fuck I didn't.
You were pretending to be me last night. What you talking about? You were being a silly wife.
Hey, yo! That's not my demure wife. Where'd this brat come from? Hey, excuse me, personality 1, I would like personality 2 wife, please.
Too bad you get personality 3.
Alright, that's fine. I'm a press a reset button and get personality 4 Wednesday. And get her, son! Get her! Get her! Yes! Yes! We stand on business!
What?
I'm joking.
I didn't even hear what you said.
You said ow. I assume my son did something in my defense. I said, yeah, son, get her, get her, get her. We stand on business.
No, I said why.
Why? I don't know. Maybe you should think about it before I turn on personality 4. Anyways, resume.
As much as you love the game, you're allowed to like the game. I'm not mad at that. I'm not gonna lie. Don't be surprised if they take it out back within the next year and shoot it. So enjoy it while you can. But
Damn, that's crazy. Imagine if they didn't have to do that though and destroy that game because they made a shit product for 10 years.
Yeah. Imagine they actually made something that actually was worth a damn. You guys did that, but instead you gave me this.
Yeah, nigga, that's crazy. That's crazy.
I don't think this game is gonna last much longer. This one's not much longer. This gonna last. So the next gaming hot take comes from iFupa, who goes on to say every game doesn't need to be a Souls-like game. And to that I say I agree. Where I disagree is I think what you're trying to imply is there are way too many Souls-like games. But I disagree. I think
Here's an idea. How about you play a different type of game? There's way too many types of these games. Okay. Did they automatically deduct the amount for the game and then deposit it into your Steam account? I don't understand. Again, a take that I gave last night. They did not extract the money out of your account and make you buy and play the Souls-like game. What the fuck are you talking about? Why are you here?
Is the Souls-like game in the room right now?
Is Melania in the room? Are you currently getting waterfouled?
what we should actually be talking about, and I think what you actually meant to say is every game doesn't need to be a live service game because I feel like you've seen
Wow, okay. A live service game is a single player Soulsborne. Nigga, why do you breathe?
This nigga can't even tell the difference. Can't tell the difference.
Nigga, why do you breathe? This is unironically DEI is with black people. Come on!
a few of them over the last few years have gotten a little bit more popular, and I feel like you're inflating those numbers a little bit too high. And what we all should really be saying is every game doesn't need to be a live service game. Because I don't know if you know, but 90.
I would agree with that, but then again, I would then tell you, nigga, are they forcing you to play them? Go play something else. How much is Graveyard Keeper right now? Graveyard Keeper, Graveyard Keeper, Graveyard Keeper, Graveyard Keeper.
I mean, I was literally playing something else in Helldivers while Destiny 2 was being shit. So, yeah.
Graveyard Keeper is currently $20. Its DLC is $10. Jesus, I didn't realize it was actually that much. Then again, I bought the DLC over time, so it wasn't me buying $30 at once plus a $20 game for a total of $50. But Graveyard Keeper, a game that is a very autism simulator light. There isn't a word like rogue-like and rogue-lite to really define the difference between an autism simulator and a very easy form of an autism simulator. I think the easiest one that you could really go to is Stardew Valley, which Stardew Valley is $9.89. So you could be able to buy several people multiple copies of Stardew Valley, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't have DLC. No, it doesn't. It just has the soundtrack, and the soundtrack is less than $4. But then again, who buys the DLC soundtrack for these games? Unless they're using them for, like, backing tracks for making videos. Like, my nigga, play a different genre of game. Go out into the world. Go to the Steam page. Go to Google. Type in the genre of game that you would like to buy and play that game. Granted, I've technically been sitting here on the fucking load screen for the server because, again, we're community stream day, but we're doing multiple things at once. If I didn't want to play DST, I would go play Helldivers. If I didn't want to play Helldivers, I would go play PoE. Even though I still haven't found my Consuming Dark, because I've been putting it off because I didn't go live early enough to be able to play PoE that day, like I had told you I had in my plan, Marcus, so that I could do the thing. So I just ended up skipping it. Something that happens very often. But if I didn't want to play PoE, I'd go play something different. I'd rotate between 10 games on my list, like I have been. Rotating between Monster Hunter and Balatro and whatever else. Mostly between PoE, Balatro, and Monster Hunter. Now that I'm fully in Iceborne and I'm just learning the difference between a normal monster and an Elder Tempered monster, which apparently I should have listened to Ninja when he said that. Apparently, I was basically trying to skip 15 grades ahead. The sheer difference between going from normal to nigga ream my asshole open.
I was about to say, it's like, are you actually going after tempered monsters right now?
I started to. I didn't realize the difference of the strength to temper. I thought it was just like, oh, they do a little bit. No, them niggas got extra moves.
No.
Them niggas got extra moves. I thought I was crazy.
You haven't even gotten to the grinding lands yet, in which there are extra monsters on top of that. But I'm going to save that for later. But
that remains to be seen. I'm going to get there when I get there. Although, while I speak about that, I tried a tempered Testoria, and I'm like, why is it that I fight this version, and I'm not struggling, and I fight you, and for some reason, I'm always getting caught in a mix-up? Because I kept timing it. I'm like, nigga, I literally cannot recover fast enough. Something's going on here. So then I randomly tried, because I saw that the difference was that they had an aura on them, so I'm like, I wonder what the aura was. And then I got the tutorial about tempered. I'm like, oh, tempered monsters? So normal tempered monsters would be like this. So does this apply to the elders? And the answer I got after repeatedly seeing how many different effects were being added to an elder tempered fucking Xeno'jiva was, yes, nigga. Yes. They not only do more damage, they actually have entire move states. You know the rage form Xeno'jiva slam that he does? Where he puts his hands into the ground and he does the echo.
Yep.
Nigga, I wanted to throw my controller at the wall, but I just politely put it down and I just stood there. I was like, oh yeah, I'm dodging it up. Wait, that nigga...
I remember those days.
Boom, now brother flowing in the air. How could the clutch claw do this? Oh, get the hunter out of the air.
You're taking me back. I should shoot you back and I should try that a little bit more.
Anyways, main idea point. Fucking Christ. You can't complain about genres of games that you play when you can literally turn the game off and play a different game. If you want to complain that the industry is doing too much in a genre, play a different genre. You control the buttons you press. You control the games you buy. No one's making you play them.
But they're not the popular games that give them the views. So.
I know, right? It's crazy. If you consistently stick with a thing and you build an audience because you have passion in it versus you're jumping around the fucking timelines writing trends to stay relevant, I wonder who would consider one of having more cred than the other. Oh no, maybe I should ask Aiden Paladin about it the next time I get the chance to talk to her. Hopefully the situation that both myself, Saf, and Zerst would like to have resolved. Maybe when that situation gets resolved, if it works out the way we want to or not, I get to tell her what happened. Because I deleted what I said I was going to delete, Saf. But man, I wish I had held on to it just so that I could be able to show her. You know, just like for argument's sake. Man. Anyways, back on topic. Nigga, play different games. Nigga, play different games and learn how to enjoy them. If you don't enjoy them, play a different game.
Don't play the same popular games that you have been playing. For fuck's sake.
Developing or maintaining
And if you will, open your mind and realize, okay, you have a bias, you have a type.
a live service game. 537 studios. This is what makes money. There was also an article that came out that says
It doesn't really make money, but does it? Does it really? Because, like, they get a big influx of money, and then it drops off. And then they eventually close it. Is that really making money? A successful business is when you pop off once, and then you have to close down 3 months later?
60% of gamers don't even play new games. They play games that are 6 years or older.
Oh, what's that? Good. What was that? Say it again. One more time. One more time.
537 studios. This is what makes money. There was also an article that came out that said 60% of gamers don't even play new games. They play games.
Huh? What was that? Oh, man. Damn. Wait a second. Wait a minute. Let's go single player control. Shut up. People yapping? Where is it? Timestamp. Put it on the screen properly. Boop, bop, bada boop, pow, beep, bop, bada boop, 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 beep, up. In the player, YouTube screen, window capture. What was that song? What was that called? What did you say at 24:55 on People Who Be Yapping? How Sweet Baby and Get Rid of Midwits outed themselves? Point number one, good old games never stop being good. People will absolutely ignore new games to emulate and reinstall past generation titles? Damn, nigga! Past Carl! Past Carl! Don't cook that nigga like that! Nigga! This isn't even a soup anymore! This is a stew! You stewing this nigga! We're making gumbo, chat! We're making chud gumbo! We're making chud gumbo! Throw in the shrimps, this nigga's cooked. Throw in the shrimp, this nigga's cooked. When was this video released? Oh my god, when was this video released? When was it released? Where is it? It's back in the other window. I'm too lazy. Back to here. And back to there. Click on this. Back to here. The Black Hokage. Beat Mania. Use it this one. Black Hokage. Blah 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 blah. Down the link. Where is it?
You got him.
When was this video published? 12 days ago. Nigga, how are you losing to an argument that I made a month ago? Damn, nigga. Nigga, that's crazy. Nigga, that's crazy. Nigga, that's crazy. Do you understand how crazy it is? Nigga, that's crazy. Wow. Oh my god. Suck my nuts. Lick my balls. My wife will give you pointers. You go. She can show you how I like it.
This motherfucker.
Oh my god. Oh. Oh.
Games that are 6 years or older, which means most people play Roblox, Fortnite, games like that. Games that are live service. Live service, in my opinion, is really ruining the industry, not Souls-like games.
Okay, so you do understand that people playing games that are 6, 8 years old means single-player games and live service games, but live service games are not the same thing. What did I say yesterday? A game that gets updated over time, being live service, does not compare to it. Season 0 to Season 9 Glory Days of League does not equal Season 10 to Season 14 Modern League. Those games are not the same. By this argument, you're telling me that League of Legends passes the mustard, and yet games like Toontown Online would not. Because what happened? Toontown Online got closed, right? Right. And then it got remade into private servers and reopened to the people who wanted to play the game of its game loop, right? Right. By your argument, if this ever happens to League of Legends, if they make League of Legends 2 the way that Titanforge, the subsidiary that manages Smite and Smite 2 of Hi-Rez, were to do, which they already have, you do realize that when Smite 1, if it ever stops being supported, would now no longer fit that standard. Yet it has made more money, has had a better stream environment, has been a better competitive environment, and has actually done more for the standard of what you're saying is supposed to be matter and supposed to be a consistent care against the pro scene. Including the fact that they were able to actually fully handle and remove pedophiles and sex pests in the industry, especially when they were flexing their power amongst the group because they used to work there. If we want to hold the example of Brandon DM Brandon BM Brandon Nance versus Mr. I can talk shit about you type ulting incoming for Karthus ult, fucking David Turley Riot Freak. This does not mean that I am saying that Riot Freak is a sex pest. I'm saying the same way that he used to work for the company, he used to work for the company. When that nigga got exposed, he got him removed immediately. And that nigga was known for being toxic. This nigga acts toxic on stage and acts toxic in his streams and acts toxic in his videos in the capacity of representing Riot Games. Nothing happens to him. Crazy. Same way that they do in their scenes, they are able to solve problems, increase the industry, get paid for people, and give consistent content. Ain't gonna have a problem. Same thing with Dota 2. But y'all niggas are struggling. You gotta constantly nickel and dime people and continue increasing the viability of your skin rates while having to take and gargle Chinese semen to the point that you are 100% an acquisition of Tencent. You can't say and do anything without Xi Jinping skull fucking you. That's your barometer. Again, you don't know what you're talking about.
Next hot take comes from Daniel, who goes on to say, releasing teasers for games that won't be released for another 5 years. Elder Scrolls 6. And to this I say, I completely agree. I don't even know if this is a hot take.
I mean, I guess I could agree. I would say you shouldn't be talking about a game if it's not going to come out within 2 years. 2 years is not really a long time in the world of game development. Because realistically, let's say we continue playing Helldivers as a group for a year and a half, concluding with the amount of time we've been playing it for. From when it was released to when a new game comes out. If we are able to play it consistently on that pattern, the amount of time and the effort that we put into it will start to like make a dent and measure up if we consistently go between 1 to 4 games as a group, as well as me focusing on 1 to 4 games by myself in a pattern where it's like I'm not just rotating through an entire cycle of games as a variety streamer, because clearly he's a variety streamer.
Yep.
If I focus on those lists and we were able to actually go back in time and show the VODs of the gameplay loop and the focus of single-player campaigns for my playthroughs versus the multiplayer shenanigans we get involved into, it would be like the coral fibers of a hermit crab shell. Because that's what a proper flow state of moving through and playing different games is supposed to look like. You spend some time on this one, then you spend some time on this one, then you spend some time on this one. And whatever one that you spend the most as a part of your comfort games is going to be the biggest chunk, as we saw on my list. And then as it rotates down, it's going to be moving in a Fibonacci pattern. Because it's going to be a consistency of what you tend to do. Because that's just human nature. Like, it'd be easy. And if we timed that to the release of, say, let's say they have a Switch edition of the Metroid Prime trilogy, which they've redone now for the Wii and the Wii U, coming out for the Switch on a cartridge. The same way that they put out Metroid Prime Remastered. Because more than likely, I would rather them put them out in a cartridge, because it's more than possible for them to do that. Like, if they're redesigning it so that it plays to Switch controls, I think that's too much. Like, just make the controls work consistently for a Pro controller and a GameCube controller, and you're more than less likely done. You ain't got to do that much. Because the control scheme that should be used as the standard should be the GameCube input because of Metroid Prime 2 Echoes.
Mm-hmm.
If that were to come out within the next 2 years, but we're spending so much time playing those games, whatever game we're playing, including Helldivers, it would feel like no time passed at all. Because that's just how it would be. You'd be playing your forever game. You play your forever game, a new game's about, you try it. If you like it, you start incorporating it into your rotation. If you don't, you'll play it every now and again and give it a chance. And then when you have time to sit down and really focus and be like, you know what, I want to become better at Balatro, which is what I did. If you vibe with it and you gel with it, it becomes a thing. You make it a repetition. It's no different than going to the gym. That would be how it works. So, like, I don't disagree with the take. I think this would probably be the most solid take so far from what has been presented and what has been discussed that I think I don't have a single consideration about it, because I'm just explaining the mentality of the repetition of how it will work scientifically. But realistically, it's like facts. No crumbs. Right.
I think most people actually agree with this. Listen, if your game is not coming out within a year, 2 max, but honestly a year. I'm sorry.
Damn, Carl! Gumbo! Gumbo! Gumbo.
Stop fucking showing off your.
Don't you love it when you write and you're just picking out numbers and it's like, damn. But of course, somebody could say, Carl, that's a coincidence. You could have pre-planned it, nigga. No, because if I had pre-planned it, the video would have started in a particular position.
Game.
That's something you can actually see in watch history. It shows you on the bar when you've pre-watched something how much of it you've actually consumed on YouTube. Naturally now.
Metroid Prime 4.
I mean, we look forward to Metroid Prime 4 for reasons. Because, nigga, what was the last interview we just got? Metroid Dread? How many years did we wait for Metroid?
Good.
How many years?
Really good.
Yes, and it's really good. I was looking for a copy, but I didn't pick it up, so I just got for the ones that I got. And I ended up picking up Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection. And I preferably wanted it because if you were to actually look on Steam, they're selling the 1 and 2 separately. It's basically...
Really?
Yes, they are. On Steam, they're selling Volume 1 and Volume 2 separately. So you'd get 1 through 3, and that would come with any additional editions. So, like, for Mega Man Battle Network 3, the white and blue edition. And then they have on the other one, all the other ones with their dual editions as well. The one that I got from there, I think I don't think I took the sticker off. 1 second. And it would not be amiss that the main reason why we really love things like Mega Man Battle Network is because that goddamn soundtrack is a fucking banger.
It is.
Shit!
Is that
shit, it would be on the receipt, actually. Did I put the receipt up here? I think I did. It should be somewhere, unless I threw it away. I want to say I got it for $30 or $60-ish, but I don't think it was actually that much. I will say it was about $30. Because I don't have the receipt on hand. But I know that Sunbreak, because Star was with me when I bought it at the GameStop, when I was trading in games for both store credit. I think I had traded in about what was equal to store credit of like $360 because I had sold my my spare DS Lite and a bunch of other things that I didn't want, as well as old things that I couldn't play on because my 360s no longer worked, so I just sold a bunch of games. I think it was about maybe $360 to $400 of in-store credit, and some of it I took as monetary return, which was like about $71 of cash, and then the rest was like 200 something. Maybe spent a total of $160, but that was across like multiple things, including the DLCs. Well, actually no, wait 1 second. This is actually extremely easy to demonstrate. Watch together. Here to Mega Man Battle Network Collection. Mega Man Battle Net Collection to Amazon. There we go. Mega Man Battle Network Collection. Mega Man Battle Network Collection for the Switch, $43.35. I believe if I spent $30 to $35, that's about right. This is currently 28% off, so it's list price. If you wanted to go with a base standard, that would be $60. So you get a $28 discount there if you were to buy it that way. I bought it in the store. I believe it was a used copy. I don't remember it being a new copy, but if it was a new copy, I probably took this. The sticker price was probably on the plastic, and I have bad memory because I'm like, oh yeah, new game, so I forgot. But I'm gonna probably say hard sell. I probably spent at least $45 on it, so this is probably right around the proper amount, and that's the Switch edition. I'm gonna go to Steam right now. I'm gonna put Steam on my screen. Put Steam on my screen. capture. So as you can see there, that's Mega Man Battle Network Legacy Collection for Switch on Amazon, which I don't know if you guys buy your physical copies in stores or over Amazon. I also do indeed have the Zero ZX collection. True. Yes, Ace Detective. It was also a steal. Because I don't know about you, but the way that they choose to divvy these things up on the storefront platforms is really wild. Because they did the same thing to the Mega Man collection and to the Mega Man X collection. So when I saw an ability to get them all onto one cartridge, I was like, yes, sir. I don't like having two cartridges for the same amount of games. If I'm going to have a collection, this implies that you have ROMs. ROMs should be able to fit on the same cartridge. We have advanced far enough in technology. We should be able to do it. If you're telling me the GBA games, you can't get the GBA games onto a Switch cartridge, nigga, be for real. But anyways, 43.35. Now I'm gonna switch it to Steam. It should be in my wish list. Well, actually, no. Maybe it's not. Mega Man. No. So I removed those ones. So let's go look at the feature category for Mega Man Battle Connections or Battle Collective. Mega Man Battle Network Collection Volume 1. Special promotion 50% off, $19.99. Standard price, $39.99. So this is single edition if you were to buy just each one separately. Volume 1, $40. If you were to buy this package, which is also $29.99, which is obviously $59.99 for the total packaging, for the games, they're basically the same price. So, if you got it from there, from Amazon, $45. Let's round it up to a whole number of value. $45 for the Switch edition. Both games, same cartridge. Steam, both games, owned in your collection, $80.
Jesus.
This bundle is here, but this bundle will only last until May 8th. Brings it down $20, $60.
That's bullshit.
Absolutely, sir! Absolutely! And because it's got each version, Volume 1 would only be Network 1, 2, 3 blue, and 3 white. And then, Volume 2, Red Sun, Blue Moon, Team Proto Man, Team Colonel, Cybe's Gregar, and Cybe's Falzar. And assuming you were to play each of these games, 1 game, 2 game, 3 game, 4 game, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. $80 to get ROMs of a GBA era network collection for $80. And yet, ironically enough, because these are rare titles, because they're a part of the, the exclusivity type of you must buy both games to get them, something that we hate even when it's for Pokemon. I don't know if Horror's still here, but Pokemon, she should. Actually, no. Horror, are you here? Please come sound off about this.
I think that Heart might still be in the chat. I do not know. Yep, there she is.
Horror, do you mind coming in and telling us how expensive your Pokemon collection was to for you to buy each edition of the more recent, up-to-date Pokemon collection games, like Sword and Shield, Scarlet, Violet, Arceus? We're having
Well, Arceus was just one.
No, I understand that Arceus is just one, but I'm talking about modern games. The problem that the thing I'm trying to compare here is basically you're being price gouged for these copies of this game comparatively for something that's a ROM. This is a collection edition of effectively ROMs. They're making you pay $80 for 10 games that are ROMs on a Legacy Collection package on the digital storefront, where you could be able to save money and get all of those on it.
60 a pop.
For 60 a pop. Okay. So, The modern games are standard issue price, right? So when you look at this, as we're comparing it, for this game, you're getting, if modern video games are 60 a pop, so so you have all of them, right? So you have sword and you have shield, because you're building your living Pokédex. You're still building your living Pokédex, and you finished with the sword and shield era. So that there, 60, 120. And then Scarlet and Violet, right? Both games, you have both? It would have been better if she had jumped in the voice call. But I imagine there's a reason why she didn't.
I'm reading chat right now, so that's...
She is working.
Yes, I am
okay,
working.
so she's working. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I thought. I was just making sure that you were able to respond. Okay, so sword, 60. Shield, 120. Scarlet, 180. Violet, 240. Modern video games. Dual copy games. We're almost close to $300. Mega Man Battle Connection. Collection, 10 games, GBA ROMs. 1 cartridge, $45. Digital storefront, same games, cut in half, which that's bullshit. I don't know why they're cut in half. That right there, that's a Roman Empire. Why the fuck are they split in half? And why are you overcharging for them based on this on the cartridge? This right here is why Nintendo continues to dog wash inside of the multi-platform generations. I don't understand why you guys are like this. That's crazy. Anyways, back to my point. Amazon store, physical copy, put it in my hand, put it in my console, $45. Digital storefront, go to digital storefront, try to buy the games. If I'm lucky, there is a sale that saves me $20. These together, total amount would have been $60. I can get them here for $40. Special promotion that's gonna disappear by May 8th. I would have to pay double the price. This would be $30 to a total of $60. But since we have to assume this is not something everyone can take advantage of, $60 if I bought them in the bundle. If I buy them separately because I'm a bad couponer, $80. But even then, would I rather spend $45 to $80 to get 10 good old games? Or would I rather give $300 in terms of microtransactions on the free-to-play games as a service? That'll probably get shut down within 2 years. So that's $300 down the drain. I don't know, chat. I'll pose the question to you. Which one would you want? But hey, he knows more. He knows what he's talking about, chat. Clearly, he knows what he's talking about. Fucking, I hate tourists. I hate tourists. I hate tourists. I hate tourists. Come outside, Carl. You need to play the mainstream games. Okay. Alright. Yes, GOG all the way. Even though sometimes I dislike things like GOG, because at least for me, the reason I dislike it, I bought fucking, Heroes of Might and Magic Complete 3 and 4, and for some reason I can't seem to log into my GOG account. I'm going to try to do it on the side here in a second, but I paid like maybe $10 for those things, and I can't seem to get back to them. I'll probably just pirate them again, honestly. And download all the offline downloaders. I suppose that's what I need to do, but that's whatever. Buy good old games. My problem separately bolster is my thing. I need to figure out why I can't seem to do it. If I have to, I'll go get my copies and my installers off of my laptop, and I'll just put them onto into my Jump Tribe and then reinstall them that way. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out in a second. See if I'm just crazy and I just put in the wrong password. But good old games. Buy good old games. Play good old games. Avoid this shit. It smells like bitch in here. It truly does. It truly does smell like bitch in here. It smells like bad consumer tactics in here. That's what it smells like. It smells like bad consumer tactics. It smells like normie in here.
I thought you saw my cover from like hours ago.
No. No.
I said that exact same thing in chat. So like bitch in here.
Look, great minds think alike. Great minds think alike and grind.
He said, "Where's Elder Scrolls 6, bro? I'm so sick of this shit." Back in the day when E3 was a thing, I loved when studios would get on stage and say, "This is our game. Here's a 20-minute demo, stage demo." Oh, bye.
But E3 is dead, sir. E3 and conventions and events like that are dead. Y'all motherfuckers don't show up. You stay at home and you retweet them. You do watch parties for them. People get harassed in public by a woman who is showing her ass off. Paints her titties. Says this is what it's really all about. Motherfuckers like you killed those events. So don't whine. Don't moan. This is what you wanted.
By the way, this game is coming out this fall. Keep in mind, E3 was in the summer, so then or they say this fall.
Yeah, and it's gone. Pat yourself on the back. You and people like you at the relaunch of G4 are responsible for it.
Or it's coming out early next year, within like 6 months. I love when studios do that. It's a sign of confidence. Also, it's not.
Okay, so a sign of confidence. Actually, no, that's a legitimate statement. Let's rock with that. It is a sign of confidence when people are able to release what they have and they show this is our game. Here's how it's coming out. Cool. What just happened to Stellar Blade? Damn, nigga. Current Carl's cooking you. Past Carl's cooking you. I'm making instant influencer pizza. This nigga's making spicy gaming takes gumbo. You still cook, nigga. How you want to be served? Don't worry, it's a buffet. All you can eat, nigga.
Not like teasing us. Yeah, I don't like when they show off games way too early. Also, you set yourself up for failure because when you show a game too early, what people are going to do is they're going to take that trailer and then compare it to when the game came out 5, 6, 7, 8 years later. Stop.
Well, you see, this is not accurate. If I can be told, hey, look at the pre-launch things that were made about Power World. This is clearly a concept that was worked on for a while. And then I compare it to the alpha, and then I compare the alpha to the first edition early access version of the game. I can be able to say, okay, I can see how they implemented the concept and how they implemented the gameplay. And then I can look at the gameplay loop of actual gameplay I can get my hands on and compare it between my own gameplay and say, you know, this is a little rough in some places. I would really like you guys to get some updates. And then when they pass those updates, and then I try those updates again, oh man, this is really improved based on what you had actually done. This has gotten better. I really like this. Same thing has happened to Helldivers with the inclusion of new weapons. Literally, the last thing that they did was after they completed that last major order, they gave us the option on where we chose to go. And I guess we chose to go to the place that gave us the scattergun rocket launcher.
Yep.
Like, man, Carl, you remember when we played the launch edition of Helldivers 2? Yeah, I do. I remember how dog shit a lot of people were. They were trying to figure out a lot of shit. And then people started spamming meta. And then I got into an argument with a guy who tried to talk shit to my face. And then when I offhandedly made a joke about him, he ran to the moderators and tried to act like a bitch and claim I said something I didn't say. And then I went to a moderator and had him be able to argue my case for me. And they went back, and not only did they ban him and another person who did it, they had to give him a warning and pull him in for trying to abuse the rules and actively lying about the nature of what was said. Because when they pulled the logs, they saw that what I said was not what I said. And what I had done was literally the thing that you criticized, that he literally said and criticized for, me testing shit out in a environment by myself. Because ironically enough, Bolster actually came in on one of those grind sessions. I was zoned out like a fucking zombie, so when I noticed he was actually connected to my game, I was like, wait a minute. I thought I was in private. Who's this? Joel? But I'm testing shit.
The mad guy himself came to see you.
I pulled up at the top of the mountain. This nigga pulled out his Charizard. He said, I want to scrap. I've seen what you've been doing on camera, Carl. Think fast, nigga.
He's Ball Titan.
Here's 10 Bile Titans and a Hive Lord. It's not even been implemented yet. But I'm testing shit in private environments to then posit it for the knowledge of everyone else. And then when I have not been playing on the patches and I go there to learn something, I try to get from that information and I apply it. It's the same shit. But like, Okay, all right, cool, sure, whatever, sure, whatever. You're allowed to have your opinion. Sure, whatever. Sure, I believe you. I believe you understand what you're talking about. Sure, I believe you about game development.
Showing the games too early. Because to be fair to the developers, it might not have even been their goal to deceive the consumer. It's just they showed something too early. So then what came out versus...
Yeah, but that's not accurate because that's different. That's like saying, oh my god, I haven't seen your son since he was 2 and he's 7 now. Damn. Oh, 5 years. Where did the time go? Does he still shit himself in bed? I remember he used to sit up at night and he would be in your arms as you were watching Red Letter Media and he would wet the bed. We used to call him Red Letter Bedwetter. Does he still do that?
what was originally shown comes across as deceiving, so they have to be, and I'm not defending it, I'm telling people you have to be aware. Timing is everything. Don't show it unless you're feeling confident. I agree with this one. Our next time.
Don't show it unless you feel confident in it. Hey, Shift Up showed gameplay that was then shown difference between literally difference of weeks, if not months. And they reported that what they were going to get was what they were going to receive. They communicated multiple times. And then literally day 1 patch. Stealth patched even. As soon as the review embargo was dropped, the comparisons were being made between the live examples and the unpatched examples from physical discs. Which, don't worry guys, he knows what he's talking about.
Hot take comes from another Brandon who goes on to say, most games are or can be fun, but their respective communities ruin the experience and the lifespan. The biggest issue isn't the development or microtransactions for now, it's the community destroying the common space. And to this hot take, I say...
Wait. You said the bigger... the microtransactions?
He said
Really?
It's not about the microtransactions, he said it's about the communities destroying the common space.
I feel like those are two different problems that you're conflating with each other.
Well, let's get into it.
I do agree that gaming communities have become very toxic, but I also don't think we should be allowing these corporations off the hook. Saying that microtransactions aren't one of the biggest issues. It is, bro. An example is just the other day, Rockstar announced that their GTA Plus service, they have a subscription service for Grand Theft Auto. They're knocking it up another few bucks, and with it, you get a new car and $1.5 million of digital money in GTA.
Or how about Tarkov, that's making it literally pay to win to the point where if you're getting raided by other people, you get to have the advantage of bringing niggas in. To help you as you're getting raided.
5 every month or some shit like that. To me, I'm like, that's an issue because that's a game that came out in 2013. That is a game that's over 10 years old. And they're charging, first of all, why is there a GTA Plus in the first place? There's a monthly subscription. Then they...
So, it's called sustaining the servers, like we talked about yesterday, about the spoilage of content. If the servers were not profitable, and if the game was not profitable, they would stop supporting it. And they would turn it off.
They hike the price, and what do you get in exchange for it? You get some rich story DLC like every month, or new heists, like actual new content. No, they gave you some money on your account. It takes them nothing to produce that. It's lazy, and they're nickeling and diming you. And I can take that logic and apply it all across the spectrum in the gaming community. So absolutely not. So I remember
Gaming community. Gaming spaces. Gaming community. You're mixing your words.
EA flew me out early to an event, but I was previewing some games.
EA flew me out early to an event. I got the privilege to do something that other consumers do not get to do. I am a privileged person that got to do something that the average consumer will never receive. Because these corporations don't believe that they're worth it. But they believe I'm worth it for, say it with me now, promotion!
I see, Dr. Robotnik. I see you.
Crazy. This Negro is
I just
crazy.
realized that I was muted. I'm an...
Because you joined us quick play, so it was not intentional. Still funny at the time. That's true. True. My God. New balance optimizations just came out. I saw the patch notes, but I haven't gotten into it yet. That's something for me to do next week.
Oh, I heard the senator got a speed loader.
Who? What gun?
Well, the senator.
It did, finally?
Yeah, finally got the speed loader.
Yes. Unironically, hallelujah. That gun is so good, but it's so fucking hard to use because of the fucking lack of
There's a
speed.
caveat to it, though.
What?
Here we go.
You have to empty the mag before the speed loader activates.
All 6 bullets.
All 6.
Okay, that's fair.
That's fine.
That's fair.
Yeah, I can
That's
remember
it.
that.
Then
They
still
also
up-
did.
There's,
other things that I can get into.
we'll get into it next week. Don't you worry.
Sure.
But
I'll be there.
It still functions like normal. If you don't empty the entire clip, you don't get the speed load. You still have to reload bullets each at a time.
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
And then we had like a town hall meeting with all the people that got invited to the EA event. And in this town hall meeting, the discussion was, how can we decrease the toxicity inside the gaming community? And I'm
Stop being pussies.
sitting there, right, at the end of that
Would be
meeting,
nice.
pass the mic around the room, and they allowed the content creators to ask them questions on how we can improve bringing down the toxicity in the gaming community. And I'm not gonna lie, most people's questions were fucking stupid. So I said,
Really, what were the kind of questions? Do you remember them? Did you do the thing that a content creator should do and record content so you can consume content and criticize content? Or did you just think that they were fucking stupid and you didn't even write down what it was that you wanted to criticize? Sounds like you did the second one.
some real shit. I took the mic and they said, what's your question? My question is, I was like, I understand the perspective of where you guys are coming from, but I was like, I don't really like that I'm sitting here and you guys are pointing the finger at us, just the gamers. And they're like, what do you mean? I said, since we're talking about decreasing toxicity in the community, I said, let's talk about your business models, loot boxes and microtransactions.
Where did?
I apologize. So let me walk you guys through my brain, my thought process just now. Toxicity, the gaming space upon which players are operating inside of. GTA Online is the gaming space, is the entirety of the servers and the activities being had. Let's compare that out and extrapolate that out into other games. The Helldivers 2 community. The Helldivers 2 community is every single person who's connected to the game playing through crossplay on PC and console. Every single person who's ever logged into the game and is ever going to log into the game, you are all playing in the same capacity where you could potentially join, if the servers let you, into the same matches with each other. Okay, League of Legends community. League of Legends community is every single person who is playing the game, who plays casually, who plays in each of the rotating modes, who occasionally will play the actual ranked ladder, or will play a quick play or a draft play match. And your ability to learn how to play the game is extrapolated amongst the matches that you may be playing either by yourself in solo queue, or you may be playing up to in a 5-man stack inside of casual or in ranked flex, but you know niggas don't play ranked flex. Ain't no niggas playing Clash! Why is the mode still there? Anyways, or they choose to, you want to speak on that?
I was about to say, no, they have it there so that the streamers can, like, flex that they're on the 5-man stack of other streamers that are rather popular and go like, yeah, we're winning.
That's Twitch rival bait, though. And do I care? No, I don't. That's Twitch rival bait. That's not real. There's not a streamer series. There isn't. There is not a streamer series of entry invitationals where teams can be able to compete against streamers and work their way up the ladder in ranking. There isn't a tournament realm for pro players that are inside of the LCS. There's not a tournament realm for people who are streamers that have to verify that they're a good ranked player, and it follows the same rules that come with the restrictions of an account, where the account can be submitted and the player can try, and that player, no matter if they've been a toxic player before in the past, we ban accounts. We don't ban players. We're not all 2014 Tyler 1. So you still have to have the ability to play ranked, so accounts that are not account level 30 and up are not valid, but you also still have to get to the rankings to have the competitive numbers to even compete in it. They're playing solo queue, playing ranked streamer solo queue, playing invitational tournament realm, LAN party solo queue is not the same, blase. Even then, nigga, I don't care, because it's not even the same environment. It's not even the same mentality. It's the same point I was making earlier about the ranked scene being the controlling factor that causes the balance of the game. Because it'll still be behooving to the exact same balance cycle, and nothing will change there. But, returning to my thought process. The environment of the gaming space of GTA is the server. The environment space of Helldivers 2 is all of the players that are connected to the game playing on the server. Let's use a single player game. The Balatro community are all of the streamers that play Balatro and are demonstrating tactics that they've learned over the amount of times they've played unseeded or they've just discovered seeded runs that they could then use as a time attack challenge to figure out if they could be able to beat that seed or if that seed is unbeatable. And it's just a matter of figuring out if there was a way for you to survive it or if it was untenable based on what you had to do in order to be able to play your cards and successfully win. Etc., etc., etc. Take any example of any case basis anyone can think of off the top of your head in chat or here in the VC, off the top of your head and compare it, alright? That's the gaming space. What the fuck if there is no pay-to-win structure inside of these opportunities to be purchased for NFT transactions? What do the microtransactions of the company's game have to do with the player-moderated behavior of players playing in the game?
That's an excellent question.
It is. And I agree with Horror. I am technically yapping too much. But this is... My God, it is so crazy how many things he says is fucking wrong. And when you just start picking at it on a basic level, it's wrong. And then you start digging it out, it's like, nothing you're saying is true. Nothing being said is fucking true. I shouldn't have to spend this much time on this singular video.
I'm sorry. It's kind of a bit of a joke. What do you expect us to do? Horror? Sit there in an empty chair.
They figure out a way to speed through it and move on to the next video because we've spent too long on this one. When I started my stream, we started here. It is 3 hours in. We've done one video. She is right. I have yapped too much. But okay. I don't... How... In order to make sure that we understand there is a base level understanding that has to be addressed and applied to people who have the right to speak and the right to be heard, men like this have to be accosted for every single thing they get wrong. Because this is a part of why I said yesterday, you have to be right and you have to be explicit on why you're right. Because niggas like this will do shit like this and make videos like this and say, bro, I put out content like this all the time. And yet, it takes so much time to clean up his mental messes that he leaves. Niggas spilling fucking drink everywhere on the floor. And I gotta clean all the shit up.
Drinking spaghetti and piss.
Spaghetti and piss. Piss spaghetti. Spaghetti. just spilling spaghetti everywhere. And every time I could criticize something he said or something the user who posted the question said, he would then be like, bro, you're just nitpicking me. No, I'm not. You're just wrong. And having to take the time to just explain why you're wrong, it's fine. Would you rather me just address the reasons why it's incorrect and then just move on from it, and then you never get respond to it? That wouldn't be fair. That wouldn't be content. It would not be an Asmongold reaction standard. And even then, I don't have to go deep. I don't have to go deep to prove it wrong. And then when I go deeper, the more I notice, the worse my criticism gets. There was a reaction done by Every Frame of Pause concerning this very opinion that was expressed by the Gymocracy, Gymquisition, about reviewers not needing to do extra time to make sure that their video game reviews are accurate. That they should be allowed to spend a minimal amount of time to maximize the output they have for it. Because if they spend more time on the review, my criticism will become worse of you. And then if you think that the review doesn't deserve an 8 out of 10, okay, I'll spend more time on it and it'll become a 3 out of 10. How do you like that, Mr. Man? I would like that because that's what we're supposed to do. That's my job. Because while I agree with Horror, I'm talking too much, I'm doing what's supposed to be the due diligence of my job. And if I was to critique his video, I would give him a fucking 0 out of 10. Not only is he off base, not only is he outright wrong, he does not have the credibility upon which to make the statements that he has made. Not only is he an open-mouth shill, not only is he a person who is misrepresentative of not only what gamers are, what competitive players are, the competitive spirit and integrity of the sport and event and the craft, but ultimately a toxic example of what toxicity is. if for no other reason off what we ended up pausing here for, before we continue and finish the rest of this video, toxicity in the game server event is when loot boxes. And if we were to go by the argument I said earlier, with people being streamer figure number Andes, that will scream about their follower counts and their subscriber counts and say, that's why you're not relevant, I'm bigger than you. These are the individuals who believe that they have the right to speak over people like myself, despite the fact they can't take the time to even listen to their own words and realize how wrong they are. It upsets me, and I get tired of seeing this shit constantly. But it is what it is. Let's finish the video and then move on to the next video.
In your games, that's increasing the toxicity in your game. Because like what's happening is there are kids out there who are boats that are resenting people that buy these microtransactions, calling them cheaters because they're boosting or whatever. Now everybody's cussing each other out at each other's throat, and it creates an imbalance in the community. It was fucking crickets in the room. You know what they said? They said, that's a good question. Anybody have anything else? So here's how the story ends, right? So after the town hall meeting was over, I'm like, yeah, look at this shit, bro. After the town hall meeting was over, I'm walking out, I'm getting ready to go to lunch. Somebody from EA came and pulled me to the side. He said, hey, were you the one asking the questions about the microtransactions? And I was like, yeah, that's me. He's like, look, man, that was great what you said, but people love microtransactions. He went on this whole tangent about how the reason they put it in the game is because you fuckers keep buying this shit. So
yeah, stop doing that, dumbass. Even if we had spent more time going over his piss low take, doing it entertaining, yeah, I am. But at the same time, it's not about me being entertaining about one video. VSChat shouldn't just be about one video if we have time to get to more. We got more content to get into. And she probably wants me to get into one particular piece of content. So, try to give the people what they want, you know? In that way, I am a variety broadcaster. A variety of piss shit videos for us to react to. It's not as fun if it's just one. Where am I getting these slut rhymes from?
I'm saying it's not an issue is an issue because they're doing it because people keep buying it and it's creating problems in the game. Now, I say that to say this, so stop defending them, bro. Do I think sometimes the gamers go a little bit too hard on these developers and shit like that? Sure. Let's not sweep under the rug the evil that they're doing. That being said, I just went on a whole tangent. I'm sorry. You're right. There are certain portions of the gaming community that are just too fucking toxic. I was just talking about this on the podcast. When a multiplayer game first comes
including you.
out, motherfuckers don't even have fun anymore. Day one, TikTok's YouTubers. Best build.
Okay. But guess who's responsible for that? To save brethren time, I'll answer my own question. That's people like you are responsible for that. Because that's literally what has killed some of the fun of Helldivers. People who will not put in the work and won't test shit and won't lab shit, who run specifically to the Discord as a justification to find people who agree with their opinion, spamming the builds and videos that they see that spread misinformation through YouTube videos, who aren't actually a part of the player base and community, that fact check and do the science and take the time to mark the shit down so it is known. You guys do that. The same way that the reason they put in microtransactions in the game is because you niggas keep buying them. The reason that people keep doing that is because the same way you could claim, quote, the pro gamers, but by the way, casual players copying other people's shit is not the fault of the pro gamers. It's the fault of the players who are lazy, who want to not do the work, who basically want to cheapen their experience. I wouldn't say cheat, because this is just a fetusberry meme. You cheated yourself and the game, etc., etc. But you cheapen your play experience by trying to skip steps. Instead of reading the tutorial, you try and force your education and learning of it. Instead of allowing them to explain to you, here's how the combo works and here's how you set it up, you're hurting your own experience by trying to find a shortcut. And by taking the series of shortcuts, you cheapen and lack in your ability to actually fulfill the thing that you need to do. And you find yourself now at taking a knee and being at a loss for understanding. So you complain about all of the fun being drained out of the game. It's because the same attitude is being had for loot boxes. But the same attitude that's being had towards loot boxes and that's being had towards the players cheapening the experience value and trying to optimize the fun out of the game came from people like you that are just jumping on the trends like Culture Locusts that monetize it for all the maximum value you want while putting in the minimum amount of effort and then moving on to the next thing. Giving dog shit takes. All of you are the problem. All of you are the problem. Till you choose to remove yourself from the equation and make sure that you're part of the solution, not a part of the problem, and you minimize how much you engage with those factors that you say are a part of the problem. If you can't square that circle, you don't get to say shit. Do better.
best gun, best scope. Everybody's a fucking sweat. I miss the days of like when a new Call of Duty or a new Halo or a new whatever new multiplayer game came out, and like the first 3 months, everybody was just having fun. They were experimenting. It usually took like a good 6 months to like a year before a game got super sweaty because that's all that was left on the servers were the sweats. But nowadays, day one, because everybody's a fucking clout chaser, everyone wants to be a content creator. I'm just trying to shoot the shit with my friends. I get a couple wins in, cool. I don't gotta win every. Relax. Next hot take comes from Brandon, who goes on to say Halo Reach is one of the best multiplayer games of all time. This is a hot take because if you're Halo fans, most of them will probably say
I don't have an
Halo
opinion about
Reach is
that.
the best in the series, depending on the person's age. But Brandon, I gotta say, I agree with this take. Halo Reach is my favorite Halo. If I had to put them in order, I actually say Halo Reach 3 and then 2 were my favorites. I think I was a little late to 2 because I was too young. By the time I played it, it was kind of like dead already. So most time I really played Halo was Halo Reach and Halo 3. If I make you mad, oh well. I was an armor locker in multiplayer, and I used to love to armor. Now, let's get straight. I didn't use the armor lock because I thought it was fair or like, I used the armor lock because it was cheap and fucking annoying, and I'm here to ruin y'all day. I used to armor lock in big team battles. My favorite thing I used to do was like let somebody get a vehicle like a tank or like a warhog or some shit like.
So you realize you just added yourself as a sweat, right?
Yeah.
Congratulations, you are
A toxic fucking sweat. Play it back. Listen to this nigga glaze himself.
In multiplayer, and I used to love to armor. Now, let's get straight. I didn't use the armor lock because I thought it was fair or like, I used the armor lock because it was cheap and fucking annoying, and I'm here to ruin y'all day. I used to armor lock in big team battles. My favorite thing I used to do.
I didn't armor lock because I thought it was a strategy. I armor locked because it was cheap and annoying, and I wanted to piss you niggas off.
Was like let somebody be in a vehicle like a tank or like a warhog or some shit like that. I would like to stand there and act like, oh no, they're gonna run me over. Armor lock, flip the whole vehicle over. Fuck you. Next hot take comes from Henny, and he goes on to say, if you gotta cheat in a fighting game, maybe you shouldn't be playing it. I'm gonna go ahead and add to that. If you cheat in any game, maybe you shouldn't be playing it. Also, once again, did you guys read the tweet? What are your hottest gaming takes? You said if you have to cheat in a video game, you shouldn't be playing it. That's not
Yeah, that's Glacier.
a hot take. Outside of cheaters, I'd argue 99% of gamers do not like fucking cheaters.
Of course, then you could debate what's cheating actually. Is cheating, obviously, like I said earlier, you have devices tied to your controller and your system, remove them and demonstrate that you're playing legitimate? Or is cheating when you use a cheap tactic that you think is bad? Because if you say using a cheap tactic like spamming is you think is bad, welcome to Tekken 8. We gonna learn to block today.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's fun because especially since Jack's now kind of good. It's like I've been having that sort of experience with other people. It's like, should have blocked.
Like, what's that? You like spamming electrics? Low, 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 mix up high, low, low, mix up high, low, mid, low, low. We gonna learn to block today, bitch. 101, block strings. Do you understand how to block my character? Low, low, overhead, electric, Ragehorn, get up. Oh, you wanna run it back again? Low, low. Hate mail, stop cheating. You can't do that. Lol, low, low, low.
Somebody's getting fucked.
Shout out to my Gordo players. Shout out to my Reina players. Shout out to my King players. Grapplers in general.
Shout out to the Zangiefs. They represent the realness.
Honestly, Zangief players are not the same as King players. King players are nigga. Guess who this mix up? Zangief players are nigga. You tried to duck. Nigga, you jumped. Get in this combo.
You're going nowhere. I got you in here for 3 rounds. That's 3 rounds of playtime.
Oh my god. Oh my god. And I can almost bet you, because this nigga did have both those games on it, I can almost promise you he is probably one of those. Because for somebody who wants to talk about the competitive fighting scene, also, African-American player, plays Tekken, and also plays Street Fighter. Not beating the allegations. I can almost promise you. I can almost promise you, if I went to his stream and I saw what kind of Shoto player he was, I can almost promise you he's probably a Shoto user. Almost most definitely. Maybe. I wouldn't say he would be spamming Fireball, but I definitely think he would be the kind of person who would like to glaze his combos. But at the same time, he might also be a user who likes playing characters that are strong, but he also likes. So he might be playing a female character, or whatever. But, to elaborate on what I said, cheating, if you're cheating in video games, and you're cheating at LAN events, people are going to dog you no matter what. That's a Glacier take. However, like I just said, there's a difference between cheating and supposedly being cheap and lazy and unskilled. Upon which I would then say, again, get fucked. There's a base level of skill that you need to have to be a competitive player, and it starts with understanding how to lab. Because there's a base level requirement, kind of like the base level job requirements. You must be able to work this amount of hours. You must be willing to standardize these rules. You must be able to lift 50 pounds properly using the proper PPE. You must be able to do this and this and this. The same job requirements that you have for that are the same job requirements you have for games. So in Tekken, you must learn how to be able to dodge out of attacks. You must be able to understand the particular tells of a person's particular playstyle type if you wish to be able to condition them to be set up for your own attacks. You must understand when to use your electrics. You must understand how to combo and hit confirm your rage arts and your specials. You must learn how to break other people's specials and how to recognize their block strings and block their block strings. You must learn if you are positive, negative, or neutral on block, or on hit, or if it can be whiff punished, so that you know how to open up. You must learn what you need to press to break King's grapples and rags. You must know how to deal with teleport players that will Raging Demon, not to say it must be Akuma, but have a type of Raging Demon teleport mix-up to learn how to guard the 50-50. You must learn how to play from the left of the screen and the right of the screen, so that you know your inputs and that you can be able to be consistent with your setup and follow through off your openings, either hit confirmed or done raw. You must have a library card for your ting hard reads. There are so many things that you need to know how to do that fall under, quote, cheating/being cheap. That is just an expression of skill. Again, get filtered.
Come on, guys, let's read the instructions.
Get good or get filtered.
That's a pretty common take. Bye-bye. So our next hot take comes from Nathan. He goes on to say, regardless of their faults with releasing buggy games, Bethesda is one of the greatest storytelling studios of all time.
We're not even, nope, we're not even commenting. Nope. Hell nah. Hell nah.
Skyrim tells one of the greatest stories ever told in the game, and Fallout 4 is
Did I say something wrong?
No. This nigga tried to talk about Bethesda and hot gaming cakes. Specifically, regardless of their faults with releasing buggy games, Bethesda is one of the greatest storytelling studios of all time. Skyrim tells the story of the greatest story ever told in the game, and Fallout 4 is in Pecan. We're not even, no, we're not even getting into it.
That's hilarious. That's fucking funny.
We're not even getting into it. Hell fucking no. Hell fucking no.
Like, James
This
played
man.
Fallout 4 right now, and we'll tell you, nah.
I
This
have to
man
mod
has-
the shit out of it in order to make it playable.
Man has his mouth magnetized to Todd Howard's crotch.
And the worst part
that
is
guy
this.
in particular.
Like, the worst part is it's not even a fucking take that's wrong of the presenter. This is a take that comes from a person who's trying to discuss it. I don't even care what his reply is to that shit. That shit is automatically fucking wrong. We're moving forward.
So that is, did you read the tweet? I asked you what's your hottest gaming takes, and I think a lot of people actually agree with that. They've released Skyrim like 25 times. It's not by accident. You motherfuckers keep buying this shit. So clearly people love Bethesda despite some of the issues that their games have. So I gotta ask, did you read this?
Loving Bethesda is when you keep buying the game multiple times because you guys are lazy and you are easily pleased by jingling keys.
Instead, in debating this, I'm gonna actually take this moment, and this is gonna be the only reason I highlight this comment. If you have not seen the Fallout show on Amazon Prime, after watching this video, go watch the show. The reviews have come out, and they
Definitely don't care at that point because we all know that this is the first time ever in existence where they patched a television show.
say it's the greatest video game and I'm not gonna lie, I watched all 8 episodes this weekend. It is. I was trying to find something to dislike about this. Nothing major. It's a really good show. It's only 8 episodes. If you got Amazon Prime or you know somebody who's linked their password, check out the Fallout TV show. It is fucking fuego. It just takes place in the games, so you can completely play the games.
Pause. Doesn't that fuck up like a huge amount of the timeline? He says that he's a fan of Fallout, but doesn't that fuck up like certain things in timeline as well as Mr. House?
So from what I've watched 2 episodes so far because I've been waiting for Violet and me to finish it out because we've been watching it in my other server. But from what it stands to be, Violet is also kind of an expert on it. There are some things that are correct. There are some things that are a little bit weird thus far. Mr. House, we don't know if he's actually playing to like his cards close to his chest because as much as the scene out of context can happen, he is not exactly the most forthright person, especially in New Vegas. You know that.
Yeah, that is right.
Mhm.
You know what? You're not wrong about that.
So from what I gained to venture, it's probably that Mr. Either the character assassinate him in the next season, which then I'm just like, okay, well then everybody was right, or has like ulterior motives, which makes sense for him.
Yeah, makes sense for him to have ulterior motives and just playing to the fact that Voltec is a greedy motherfuckers.
Yeah. But when it comes to Fallout, the TV show, it's a little bit odd. A lot of people have been giving it's very weird because a lot of people say that like yeah it has some inconsistencies, and to others it's saying like no, that's been there, which it's kind of difficult to tell at this point.
Yeah, I was gonna get around to it once I was done with Knuckle, which is all right so far.
But overall, yes, this man is glazing it to the point that it's getting ridiculous. Like I would say it's decent. It's not good. It's not like Arcane Season 1.
Man, Arcade Season 2, I'm looking forward to that.
But anyways,
continue.
go ahead. Yeah, please.
It is now 3 p.m. Y'all are in the watch together too. You can just start this shit up.
Oh,
You gotta put. Oh, did it?
If you play the game, you'll catch little Easter eggs and shit like that. But like the actual story, no, you don't have to play the game. You can still watch it. Great show, but Bethesda really needed to win, and they got one with Fallout. So that's the reason I like the comic collection. I love the show. Mr. Flex-a-Lot's hot take is that Gears of War should have ended at 3, and I agree with this hot take. I am a super Gears of War fan. At least the original trilogy. It has a special.
I don't have an opinion about
Like
this.
my high school days, I was super sweating Gears of War.
I agree.
The story was great. The multiplayer was.
I also agree with you on that.
4 and 5 are just kind of. Hopefully 6 will be better. But like, I'll take a step further. Not only do I agree with you.
6 will not be better.
However,
No, it's not.
I would like to state, single player game. Pro gaming ruined the fun in games.
Wait, single player game for what?
Gears of War 3. I know that some of the Gears of War had apparently a multiplayer function. I did not pause the server. I know that some of them had a single player function of campaign, and then some of them I believe had online like PvP.
Mm-hmm.
The title of his video, Pro Gaming Ruined the Fun in Games.
I mean, I can get into the argument of I can actually get into argument of how the pro scene in Gears, because there is actually a pro scene in Gears. It's predominantly in South America, much like KOF, but there is actually a scene, pro scene there. It's just extraordinarily played by like mostly Mexicans and maybe some Brazilians.
True, but pro gaming ruined the fun in games. Multiple single-player games that have no relevance on the pro scene.
True.
Alternative title, Your Hottest Gaming Takes.
Yeah, you should have went with that.
None of this shit
It's
has
not
anything...
clickbait enough.
Like, none of this shit has anything to fucking do with... Well, some of these things don't have much of anything to do with fucking the player behavior of the pro scene. He plays some games that are tangential or are currently in this generation of multiplayer fighting games are central to what you would see on the current EVO stage. And he's been so fucking wrong that it's egregious and has brought us to be sitting and harboring on it for as long as we have. I just now started playing today's save for the DST server. The server is open, by the way, so if you wanted to come and play DST, we can. Or you can now.
I'm playing DST by myself right now. I'm going through the motions.
I see.
I'm on day 4 right now, and just made a science machine on day 3.
But he keeps trying to nickel and dime his way to justify a lot of these takes that are out of pocket. They're just blatantly wrong and out of pocket. I don't like that he did that, for one. 2, it demonstrates, again, the lack of credibility and the lack of understanding that he does not fucking get it. And there's no way for him to square this circle on the fact that because he's doing it, and he just keeps inserting things that have nothing to do with the topic. Okay, so you go and ask people on Twitter, give me your hottest gaming takes. Why didn't you say your hottest pro gaming takes? Would you make it about a clear clickbait title? Granted, that's not what brought me to click on it. When you make a clickbait title about it being about pro gaming takes, and there's very little to none, and the ones that exist, I'm flabbergasted that you would even try it. Whatever.
Ended at 3 because I think in order for people to have a fond memory of something, you have to let it end. That's why Code Geass is my favorite anime, because it fucking ends and it doesn't keep going. I know what my name is, but Naruto is not my favorite anime. Code Geass. Way, but there's that saying, you live long enough to become a villain. I think Gears live long enough to become a villain. But to add even more to what you're saying, I think Xbox as a whole needs to focus on publishing more original games, and that's why I'm excited for games like Flintlock, which is coming to Game Pass.
Every service should focus on making more original games.
Boundaries from Xbox. And I think that's what made me really fall in love with the Xbox 360. It had a lot of IPs on there that were pushing the boundaries, and just like PlayStation, I think both PlayStation and Xbox have become very stagnant when it comes to creativity. So yes, I agree. Johari's hot take is, he says, trying to be more like movies is stifling creative storytelling in games. And to that I say, I agree with this.
I agree.
I'm a gameplay first person. I play games for game, and I think somewhere around the Xbox 360 PS3 era is when you start to see a lot of gamers focus a little bit too much on demanding better visuals and like this movie-like storytelling, and it's kind of culminated.
Gamers didn't ask for that. Lazy fucking journalists asked for it, so they wouldn't have to put in work to their games.
Well, that and they're also very embarrassed about what they were reviewing.
Dean Takahashi says hi.
I think some of that falls on the consumer. I feel like if we keep going down this path, it's double implode. The reality is that games are successful because they weren't trying to be like movies. And I feel like now they're trying to be like movies. We gotta get back to our roots. So I can't say I disagree with this right. So the next hot take comes from Lotto, who goes on to say, Breath of the Wild wasn't anything revolutionary. Open world Zelda mods were a thing before they came out, and the only reason it was big as it was due to the obsessive fan base of Nintendo. In the defense of Breath of the Wild, me personally,
Cap.
this is my perspective, I can't speak for everybody else. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say Breath of the Wild was revolutionary. I think a lot of people liked the game just because it was different. I think with Zelda games, ever since Ocarina of Time that came out, they got a little bit, at least on the 3D side, they got a little bit formulaic. So I think Breath of the Wild was a breath of fresh air just because
they're formulaic, because that's what happens when you create a worldwide record-breaking formula. You deliver people what they ask for and what they want, and if it's not what they want, you don't give it to them.
I think I got open world fatigue. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the fanboys Luigi are burning right now. What you said. All right, so our next hot take comes from Mr. Doyalite, and he goes on to say, this game did nothing wrong but try to be different. And you know what? I'm gonna agree with you. And now that I'm gonna agree with you, I'm actually gonna
Hold the fucking phone. You can't just drop that right in the middle of that.
You know why they do that. I don't even, I myself would not even fucking argue it, because it's not even material. We know that these guys will never let this fucking go. They will never let it, they are never letting it go. We can't.
Fuck off.
We've already spent too long here enough already. And the longer he keeps giving these dumbass takes, the more upset it makes me. But I don't need to elaborate, because it's obviously fucking retarded. If somebody wants to ask me in chat, I'll tell you inside of the voice chat, and you can just look at that and I can write it down there. But they will never fucking let DM lowercase, they'll never let D lowercase MC go. They will never let it go. And that's tantamount for exactly what I just said. They don't want to make shorter games, and they don't want to make better games. They want to make games that give them the ability to just do what they want to do. Because they have what they want, and they know what they want to do, and they don't want to be honest about how they go about it. Simple as. They can't do it. They don't want to be honest. They can't do it. This is why they do that. They cannot fucking do it. I'm sick of it. You're sick of it. We're all sick of it. But they're never going to change. It is impossible for them to change. Because that requires them to be held accountable. And they don't want to be held accountable. It's no use. It's no use! It's no use!
Hilarious how you use that one on top of that. That's hilarious. But yeah, I get what you said.
Resume.
Pain.
Reason.
Back on during, was it the PS4 era? And they kind of rebranded Dante originally as that white silver hair. They gave him kind of like this emo look with the shortcut hair, and they even put him in PlayStation All-Stars, which you guys should try getting PlayStation All-Stars too. Try. Anyways, a lot of people didn't like this dude, and I'm gonna be honest, and I think my opinion is biased on it. So strictly gameplay. I thought the game was fun. I thought it was fun. It was a fun action game. I thought it was fun. It felt like Devil May Cry. But I know a lot of people didn't like the redesign of the character, so they dismissed the game as a whole. But if you remove the character and just play the game for what it is, I thought it was a solid 8. It was a good action game. Now for the
it's not a good action game.
My opinion is a little bit biased just because I don't have a strong connection to Devil May Cry. I'm not like the biggest fan of it. Like I like it, but like I'm more like a Bayonetta guy. It's like them changing Dante didn't really do anything for me. Like all I was looking for was to play a fun game. To be honest, I thought the game was fun. I think it got a little overhated because of the character design. This is one of the weirdest kind of backlashes. I don't know. Is that gaming using the biggest budgets for spectacle is stifling actual creativity when it comes to gameplay. And
true.
I understand where you're coming from. I think the biggest issue is what's being made is being based off of what's being bought. There are a lot of creative games out there. I mean, indie developers are on the rise. The problem is that people don't buy them. I know
you don't buy them. Whose fault is that? Yours.
I would love to talk about some of these more obscure JRPGs or this indie game that I'm into. Like I'm a huge.
So do it. Talk about them. You're already a variety streamer. Just talk about them. Play them.
A lot of more recent Sonic games, and it's an indie game based off of Sonic. lines with a bunch of different other.
Stop playing popular shit. Play them.
I would love to talk about more games like that, but guess what? People don't click videos on that. They want to hear dumbass shit about
Okay,
Here we go.
so-
Yeah,
so-
there it is.
It's late at night, I'm tired.
Fucking poser. Oh, fucking Christ.
What I'm trying to say is, I don't really know what the solution is. I mean, maybe people have, I don't have a proper influence. I try to be a tastemaker. Most people don't listen to me until it's too late. Then they come back and they say, oh, TV is too
Oh, they don't listen to me. Not really. How big is your
I'm trying to
channel?
wrap my head around what's the solution for it, other than, you know, spend less time talking about
sure.
what you like and spend more time talking about what you like. Also support those who support what you like.
Not
Don't
your
sit on social
fault.
media bitching about how that person
No
is not
accountability.
you know what I'm saying? And that's just a few hot takes from you, the viewer. If you enjoy content like this, you might enjoy a video I did on Rise of the Ronin. I headed over to Metacritic and I filtered to only the negative.
We don't. I didn't. You upsetted me. It's shit. Especially that last part. Oh no, people don't really fuck with it. People don't really fuck with it. I got flown out because you know, the companies fuck with it, but the people don't fuck with it.
Mhm. I guess they wonder why the industry is so shit.